Changes both of his centre halves. Fabian Schär and Sven Botman dropped to the substitutes. Captain Jamal Lascelles is in for his first Premier League appearance of this season, and Matt Targett's in as well. No Bruno Guimaraes either for Newcastle. He is injured, so we're off and underway at Anfield. Liverpool in all red, Newcastle in their traditional home kit as well. The black and white striped shirts, the black shorts and the black socks, and with Liverpool in possession, very quickly closed down by Alexander Isak on his Newcastle debut, but the ball is all the way through to Alisson, who plays it over the top. The header won by Kieran Trippier at right back for Newcastle. Joe Linton gets something on it in the centre of the park, and it's squeezed out to that right hand side. We'll be heading to the Emirates shortly, but Liverpool win the ball back over on the left and now advance towards the halfway line. It's intercepted by Newcastle before it can reach Roberto Firmino and will be cleared long by Nick Pope. So to the Emirates, Jonathan Oberens.
It had been coming. Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. Gabriel Jesus is on the scoreboard once more. The shot from Xhaka, it was spilled by Emi Martinez, and Jesus was there to touch it away at close range. Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0.
Thanks, Jonathan. In the Championship, Swansea have taken the lead at Stoke as the ball is all the way through to Alisson once more, and we can take you through the lineup. Alisson in goal for Liverpool. The back four of Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. Ahead of them it's Elliott, Fabinho and Henderson, with Salah, Diaz and Firmino up top. And here is Harvey Elliott winning the ball deep in Newcastle territory. Ball towards the penalty area though is poor, cleared away by Joe Willock, but will be picked up by Liverpool once more and Joe Gomez, and now Van Dijk inside the centre circle. Here is Andy Robertson, plays it back to Van Dijk on the halfway line. So Newcastle with Pope in goal, the back four of Trippier, Lascelles, Byrne and Targett. Ahead of them it's Willock, Longstaff and Joe Linton. Almiron and Fraser supporting the new boy. Alexander Isak up top as the ball is all the way through with Alisson. Played forwards by Gomez, now picked up by Fabinho over the halfway line. Nice little interchange of passes as Henderson works it out to the left hand side. Here come Liverpool, dangerous this, good block just inside the penalty area by Trippier, urging his players forward, but Newcastle's black and white shirts very deep, lining the edge of their box as Liverpool send it back in towards Salah. Miscue 10 yards out, he's saying he got a little push. Our referee Andre Mariner says nothing doing, and Newcastle will have possession, and the groans are from the away end, the boos are from the Liverpool fans because Nick Pope has gone down here off the ball.
Yeah, there's no contact at all, nothing at all. I don't know if he's sort of pointing to his, was there a challenge on him or anything? I don't think there's been any contact with him at all. That must have been an underlying injury or situation that has happened there, because Eddie Howe has just come onto our screens. He's waving his hands in front of his eyes as if to say, I've got double vision or I can't see quite clearly. That's kind of worrying.
Well, the Newcastle physios are on. Carl Darlow, who is on the bench for Newcastle today, is warming up. Martin Dubravka, Newcastle's former number one, who's been edged out by Nick Pope on the verge of completing a move to Manchester United. Let's head to the London Stadium. West Ham against Tottenham. Mike Williams.
And the visitors, Vicky, Tottenham thought they had a penalty. It was awarded after Aaron Cresswell appeared to handball in the area, but referee Peter Banks was advised to go to his screen after a near 2-minute wait, which really got on the nerves of the London Stadium crowd. And in the end, the referee overturned the spot kick, so we remain West Ham 0, Tottenham 0.
Thanks, Mike. Commentary continues on 5 Sports Extra. In the Scottish League Cup, Dundee United have taken the leads at Livingston, and Motherwell are 1-0 up at home to Inverness. Let's head to Manchester City against Nottingham Forest. Maz Faruqi.
John Stones thought he bundled in for City's third, Vicky, but it was ruled offside in the build-up. But it is all still City at the moment. They still lead Forest 2-0.
Thanks, Maz. Commentary of that match over on the BBC Sport website. Nick Pope is continuing for now as Newcastle launch the ball forward, cleared away over his head by Virgil van Dijk, and out for a Newcastle throw. The away contingent packed out as usual. The travelling Geordies roar their side on. 4 minutes played, 0-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live as Matt Targett, one of 4 Newcastle changes today, prepares to take this throw from the left hand side. Infield to Joe Linton. Ball is just about collected by Willock, but Newcastle are well forced back by Liverpool. Long ball over the top, Isak will chase. Alisson comes to the edge of his penalty area and gathers
he does, and Isak's not letting any of the Liverpool defenders have any time on the ball. whatsoever. We know how good Virgil van Dijk is, but he can play very slowly, very casual. I think Isak has spotted that already, so I think they've just got to be a little bit sharper, Liverpool in possession.
Liverpool at the moment are in possession, knocking it around at the back. Here is Virgil van Dijk as Newcastle get back into formation. It slots almost into a 4-1-4-1 when Liverpool are in possession. For Newcastle defending this ball over the halfway line as it's kneed forward by Matt Targett, headed on by Sean Longstaff, and flicked around the corner of Trent Alexander-Arnold by Ryan Fraser. He looks at Andre Mariner and says, might I have had a free kick there? Bearing down on the Liverpool penalty area. Andre Mariner says no, and Liverpool spread it out to the left hand side, and here goes Robertson driving towards the penalty area. Dangerous this for Liverpool. Ball played into the box, cleared away by Willock, who was in a good position, but Diaz is looking lively down that left hand side as Newcastle play the ball around in their own half. Very calmly done. Willock back to Lascelles, and now Longstaff as Targett cuts in field. Here now is Ryan Fraser. Goalless here on BBC Radio 5 Live as Fraser's ball forward, too much on it, but you can see the game plan looking to use Isak's pace to get him behind.
Yeah, in between the centre halves and the full-backs, there's little gaps there that Isak knows is going to be there because the full-backs push so high for Liverpool. That break there, you can see that Robertson was going down the left-hand side. Diaz is outside him, he wants to lay him in, but those black and white shirts were absolutely sprinting back. Like eight black and white shirts in the box as soon as that ball comes in.
So Liverpool in possession, just inside their own half as Van Dijk decides what to do with it. We'll spread it out to the left-hand side of Robertson, back to Van Dijk, so we can head to the Scottish League Cup. Ross County against Celtic. Roddy Forsyth.
It's taken them time by their standards, but Celtic are ahead after 20 minutes, and it was Callum McGregor, team captain, who scored at close range from a corner kick. They had kept their fans amused by hitting the crossbar twice, but right now, Ross County 0, Celtic 1.
Thanks, Roddy. Throw to Liverpool just inside the Newcastle half. 0-0, 7 minutes played here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Remember, we have commentary coming up tomorrow as well, rounding off our bumper Premier League midweek of action. Leicester City against Manchester United. Join us from 7:45 as Harvey Elliott spreads it out to the left-hand side. Brilliantly taken inside by Robertson, but just overran it as he went into the penalty area, and it's cleared away by Newcastle. But Liverpool, Dion, just starting to exhibit a bit of a grip on possession as Van Dijk wins the throw just inside his own half.
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable at the moment. If they were to pick the pace up, they'd probably create a few more chances. But what Newcastle are doing, they're allowing Liverpool to get into the middle third and then closing them down.
Here is Harvey Elliott, pulls the ball back into the penalty area, cleared away by Newcastle. And Sean Longstaff back there defending. Liverpool pick it up once more. Here is Henderson, dinks the ball into the area looking for the run of Diaz, and it just span round the left-hand side of Luis Diaz and into the grateful arms of Nick Pope.
Yeah, a lovely little run, lovely little ball as well. Not quite in sync at the moment, that Liverpool front line and the midfielders, but those runs are there. The ball's in the final third, wide left, wide right. If they can find the right cross, plenty of red shirts in there.
Kilmarnock have taken the lead at Hearts in the Scottish League Cup, 1-0. Here are Newcastle in possession, out to the right-hand side, under pressure though. This Liverpool press might pay off too. That's a good challenge by Lascelles. And indeed, Lascelles is deemed to have been caught by Luis Diaz there. It's a free kick to Newcastle just outside their own penalty area. Goal at the Etihad, Maz Faruqi.
A third for Manchester City, a third for Erling Haaland. This a 27-minute hat-trick to back at what he did at the weekend. The header came back across goal from the left from Stones. There he was, jumping highest in the centre of the goal. Manchester City 3, Forest 0.
Rotation? What rotation? Haaland at it again. You can listen to that on the BBC Sport website.
If he could work on his finishing, he would have a career, that young lad.
So, Newcastle with a free kick here. What did you make of the coming together between Lascelles and Diaz there? Yeah. It's gone the way of Newcastle. Free kick just outside their own box.
Yeah, I thought that it may have been a little bit worse than what it was. Lascelles got there. He was sort of, I don't know, was he 55-45 in favour of getting there? He played the ball and then sort of caught his knee and it sort of bent a funny way, and I mean, he's slapping the ground. I thought he was injured, really badly injured, but he's up on his feet and he's jogged to the halfway line, so he's okay, which is good.
Yeah, big night this for Jamal Lascelles as Nick Pope prepares to take this free kick for Newcastle. He's Newcastle's captain, but he's very much been in and out of the side since Eddie Howe arrived. This is his first appearance in the Premier League this season. Did start and score in the League Cup against Tranmere, but rotation from Howe. Both centre-halves changed as Salah, the fans felt, might have been pulled back there by Byrne, but Salah still going outside the penalty area, lays it off to Alexander-Arnold. Now Fabinho. Newcastle marshalling Liverpool well, forcing them backwards. That's a lovely ball from Alexander-Arnold. Challenge came in from Byrne on Salah, allowed to go by Andre Mariner, and here come Newcastle with Willock over the halfway line to the left-hand side, and the new boy Alexander Isak into the penalty area. Liverpool trying to close the angle, and in the end Isak blazes high and blazes over.
Yeah, you can see what he wanted to do is going sort of down the inside left channel, once again on his right foot, wants to open the goal up. At one stage there it was a 4-on-3. It was 4 black and white shirts against Liverpool's 3 defenders, and he gets it just on the corner of the box, left side, tries to drag it into that far corner, gets it all wrong on this occasion, but looks lively, he's made a lot of runs.
So goal kick to Liverpool. Let's head back to Ross County. Roddy Forsyth.
Yes, I don't know if Celtic will equal their 9 at the weekend tonight, but they're perhaps on the way. They're 2-0 up with the makeshift team, and the man who got the second goal, Giacomakis, from close range.
Thanks, Roddy. Play stopped here. A collision in the centre of the park. Diaz is down, holding the back of his head. So Andre Mariner, stop play, 0-0 here. 11.5 minutes gone at Anfield here on 5 Live. Big chance at West Ham. Mike Williams.
Still goalless here, Vicky, but the home side should be in front. Miguel Antonio on his 200th Premier League appearance, beat the offside trap, curling shot, edge of the box, hit the post and away from danger. West Ham 0, Spurs 0.
Let's head to Bournemouth. Kelly Summers.
Still Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0 with 42 minutes on the clock. Wolves have still had the best chances, courtesy of Nunes hitting the crossbar and Neto firing wide. Bournemouth are getting forward, but yet to test Jose Sarr. Still 0-0.
And we can head into the Championship. Sunderland against Rotherham. Chris Coles.
And the opening 26 minutes here, Vicky, have belonged to Sunderland. Tony Mowbray will be pleased with what he's seen from his new side. No goals, but they are the better side. Chances for Ross Stewart and for Ellis Sims, both blazing over from close range. 26 minutes played, Sunderland 0, Rotherham 0.
And staying in the Championship to Blackpool, John Akers.
Blackpool 0, Blackburn 0. 8 o'clock kick-off this one chance for each side. Hedges with a 25 yards shot saved for Blackburn, and just a few moments ago Bowler for Blackpool with a shot blocked. It's 0-0.
Newcastle coming forward, free kick to the edge of the area. Isak lays it off. Joe Linton's ball into the box. He's just ahead of everybody other than Alisson. And the Liverpool goalkeeper, all in lilac this evening, will gather.
It's quite nice, isn't it, the lilac?
Nice,
I quite like it. Brings out his cheekbones. Very, very nice.
Decent ball in from
Joe
Linton.
It wasn't too bad. Listen, they need to do more than that, though. You know, just those crossfield balls and heading it down. You need to try and create something here, because Liverpool will have the lion's share of the ball, and we know that they'll create lots of chances. Newcastle have got to use those chances when they get a chance.
Isak, though, you can really tell it's his debut. You can tell it's him as the club record signing as well, in a positive way. We often talk about the burden or the pressure that can bring. It's a tag that he seems to be trying to live up to already, really putting on the pressure on that Liverpool back line. But Liverpool have coped with it, and they've worked it out to the left-hand side. Goalless here at Anfield on 5 Live as Henderson swings the ball into the area and Pope claims. I have to say, Pope doesn't seem to have any after effects of whatever the problem was that he was caused in the opening 5 minutes.
Seems to be fine. What Newcastle are doing, they're leaving Isak up the field. They're going into a 5-4. As soon as Liverpool get into that final third, there's so many black and white shirts forcing Liverpool to go round the outside, down the sides.
And Isak flicks the ball on. Alisson comes all the way and clears it. Might turn into one of those Alisson assists, but not quite all the way through to Nick Pope. But it's been an interesting matchup so far in the opening 14 minutes. You'd have to say that Liverpool have had the better of it, have looked the more dangerous in and around the penalty area, but Newcastle just coming back into it. And this man, Isak, again, just doesn't get the better of Van Dijk there, but he's in and around the Liverpool box.
Absolutely.
He's forcing the Liverpool error. He's not forcing it from the player that he's pressuring, but the ball out often tends to be under pressure, and then the second player can't deal with it. And we've seen that on a couple of occasions. This time, Alexander-Arnold straight out of play, Newcastle throw on halfway.
It's because Isak's not letting Gomez and Van Dijk take the time. And Van Dijk's very casual on the ball, he's very cool, but sometimes you can get caught on the ball. Isak's reminding him, you're not going to get that time tonight. None of you defenders are going to get any time tonight. If I squeeze you, the next player's going to be squeezed, because all my teammates will be in behind me. It's a good start from the new boy. Good start.
Joe Linton wins the throw for Newcastle, which Targett will take midway through the Liverpool half on the left-hand side. In field, looking for Joe Linton on the edge of the penalty area. Jordan Henderson almost dispossessed. Harvey Elliott very calmly back to Alexander-Arnold, who heads it forwards, and it's cleared out by Dan Burn for a Liverpool throw just inside their own half. Joe Linton stayed down here, so we're going to have another stoppage. It is all over at the US Open tennis. Andy Murray, which way is it gone? Gigi Salmon.
Well, it's a first US Open third round appearance in 6 years for Andy Murray. Came from a set down to beat the world number 203 Emilio Nava. He won it 3-1, 5-7, 6-3, 6-1, 6-love in 3 hours. He played some exceptional tennis at times, but not such good news for Harriet Dart. If she wins today, she overtakes Emma Raducanu. She becomes British number 1, but she is currently an early breakdown to Dalma Galfi in her second round match, trailing by 3 games to love.
Thanks, Gigi. Again, a nervy ball back for Liverpool, almost allowing Newcastle in down that right-hand side, but they've dealt with it well and now play the ball forward to Diaz. Squeezes it out to the left-hand side. Robertson's made the run into the penalty area, but Henderson delays, and there's frustration simmering around Anfield at that as Targett wins the header. We'll spin out for a throw to Liverpool deep in Newcastle territory. Goalless here at Anfield. 16.5 minutes played as Trent Alexander-Arnold has it, but Liverpool lose possession and Newcastle will come over the halfway line with their club record debutants. Alexander Isak out to the right hand side now. Ball in fields looking for Willock, who lays it off to Kieran Trippier. I haven't seen too much of Newcastle's right back being able to get forward, but of course when you're up against a side that's just beaten their most recent opponents 9-0, you've got to keep that back full tight. But that's a lovely ball forward to Fraser, just fizzes it over the bar from the edge of the penalty area. Newcastle's best move of the half.
Yeah, great move from Newcastle. Very, very patient. He started off on the right hand side, they came all the way across the pitch to the left hand side, fired in, I think it was by Targett to Fraser. Turns with his left, the ball's bobbling a little bit, he can't resist it, he goes for the right foot half volley. It's about a yard over the bar, but that just shows you that Newcastle have got the potential to create good chances. That's why the Liverpool defence have to stay concentrated.
And they're playing it short, Liverpool, from the goal kick. Newcastle had 3 or 4 players up, and again that press, it just does enough. It gets in the minds of the Liverpool players. It's spun out for a Newcastle throw. Goal at Blackpool, John Akers.
And it's a goal for Blackburn in the Lancashire derby. Ben Briett and Diaz sprung the offside trap, one-on-one with the keeper. Lovely right foot finish. Blackpool 0, Blackburn 1.
Thanks, John. Newcastle in possession all the way back to Nick Pope, but it's forcing those errors. Eddie Howe will be so delighted with the way that his side are doing that, even though they haven't managed to take advantage. And we have to say, even though when Liverpool have made them, generally they've been able to play their way out of trouble.
Absolutely. What Newcastle are doing as well, they're choosing the times when to play out from the back, and then they're choosing the times to miss the press out and go to Joel Linton or go to Isak up top. They're doing it very, very well at the moment. Liverpool aren't quite sure whether to squeeze or not squeeze, because Newcastle are choosing the right times to bypass the squeeze.
Throw to Liverpool, midway through their own half, 0-0, 18.5 minutes played, but it's half-time in the 7:30 kick-off at the Etihad. Maz Faruqi.
City already out of sight, Vicky. 3-0 they lead at the break here. It's been like a training exercise with respect to Forest, but this is, of course, a huge step up and challenge for them. But it's been like attack against defence. Erling Haaland with another hat-trick. This one took 27 minutes. He now has 9 already this season. City 3, Forest 0 at half-time.
Thanks, Maz. Liverpool in possession with Fabinho. Squares it to Gomez, closed down by Joe Linton. What a reinvention he has had under Eddie Howe, switching into this central midfield role after struggling with his own record signing tag at Newcastle for so long. 40 million from Hoffenheim. Didn't work as an attacking player, certainly works as a central midfielder. As Liverpool come forward, here is Harvey Elliott, very well dispossessed by Targett, who just stuck out a boot as Elliott was threatening to burst into the penalty area. And here you go, Newcastle. Almiron over the halfway line, slides it forward looking for Isak, but it's cut out very well by Trent Alexander-Arnold. and played away to Robertson just outside the penalty
He's done well
area.
there, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He actually went on the overlap, realised that Liverpool had lost it, had to get back, didn't slow down, got back, did the job.
Newcastle have to get back now. Diaz inside the penalty area, still going, pulls it back again. Another last-ditch interception. Otherwise, that would have been a tap-in for Salah. Newcastle stretching, just get contact on it. It's end-to-end. It's suddenly opening up here on 5 Live, but it is still goalless here at Anfield as Newcastle, as I say that, just slow it down on the halfway line.
They're doing well, Vicky, they're doing well, they're playing well, they really are. I think down the left-hand side, this time Diaz is keeping the ball, he's taking on the Sells. The Sells just can't move his feet quick enough, and that's just lack of match practice. He can't move his feet, he falls on his backside, and Diaz just couldn't pick out Mo Salah. But you can just see what they're doing now, Liverpool. Patient, and Newcastle are doing exactly the same. It's a very good matchup.
Dundee United are now 2-0 up at Livingston in the Scottish League Cup, and Bristol City have taken the lead at home to Huddersfield in the Championship as Pope sends the ball forward. It's intercepted by Alexander-Arnold and now Harvey Elliott, and it's quietened again Anfield, but you can tell that Newcastle are pushing here because Anfield are having to raise the noise, try and raise their team, but they're having their chances, they're having their openings, Liverpool, and they've got the corner. Good play by Salah, cleared behind by Burns.
Yeah, they know that that's the area, the right-hand side. Burns being left one-on-one with Salah, so the right ball in behind Burns. We know that he's a big lad, he's not the quickest. Salah's a lot quicker than him, so that's the side I would imagine that they'll try and force the ball down the right-hand side. Round of applause there for Robertson as he comes over.
Yep, coming over to the near side to take this corner. Dion Dublin with us here on 5 Live. 21.5 minutes played, 0-0 between Liverpool and Newcastle. The height is up from the back. Van Dijk is in there. Robertson swings the ball in. It's powerfully headed away by the Newcastle captain Jamal Lascelles. Out to Van Dijk, who's hugging the left-hand touchline now and sends it all the way back to Joe Gomez. Goal at West Ham, Mike Williams.
West Ham 0, Spurs 1. A lightning break from the visitors has seen them take the lead. It was all about Kulusevski on that right side. Brilliant run from him, tricked his way into the box, laid it off for Kane, who took it to the byline before playing it coolly across the face of goal to Heung-min Son, who just tapped it in from 3 yards out. It's another Kane-Son combination, which has put Spurs 1-0 up at West Ham.
Thanks, Mike. Commentary continues on 5 Sports Extra. Newcastle with a throw deep inside their own half. Half-time at Arsenal. Jonathan Overend.
1-0 to Arsenal against Aston Villa, and Gabriel Jesus with the goal after Martinez spilled Xhaka's shot. It should be many more, though. Villa have defended resolutely, throwing their bodies in front of blocked shots, and in stoppage time a sensational volley from Martinelli, which was tipped over by a flying Emi Martinez. Half-time Arsenal 1, Villa 0.
Thanks, Jonathan. As Liverpool play the ball into the penalty area, flag goes up against Firmino, who miscontrolled it anyway. But during Jonathan's update, you might have heard Dion go, ho ho, because there was a little bit of a nervy moment there for Nick Pope.
It was, yeah. Again, just taking too long to clear the ball. It nearly got blocked. And the keepers have done that so many times now. Surely they know that they're going to get squeezed by the centre forwards. Get the ball cleared, get it out of your box, get it to safety. Don't take any chances.
Half-time at Bournemouth, Kelly Summers.
No breakthrough here in the first game since Bournemouth sacked Scott Parker, and despite bright patches, they've had just one attempt on goal. Wolves have had 6, the best being Nunes striking the crossbar early on and Neto firing wide from distance. A reminder, Bruno Lage's Wolves still looking for their first win of the season. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0.
Salah and Burns tussling once again. Referee Andre Mariner is happy to let it go, and Liverpool come away with possession. Goalless here at Anfield. Brilliant ball out to the left to find Robertson, but he's brilliantly dispossessed by Almiron, and a lovely piece of skill from the Paraguayan as well, as Robertson gets back to cover, but Almiron's taken it over the halfway line. Ball in, cleared away by Liverpool. Will fall to Longstaff, just plays it behind Joe Linton, and will be picked up by the 19-year-old Harvey Elliott, who sends it all the way back to Alisson. Joe Linton still closing, and again forces the error. Newcastle can't keep possession though, and here is Salah, picks it up on the halfway line, forward from Henderson, out to the left-hand side, bit of space for Diaz. 0-0 here on 5 Live as Diaz slows his approach towards the penalty area. Back to Henderson, and now Harvey Elliott. Diaz once more in space, picks it up, lays it off to Robertson, pulls the ball across. Oh, that's behind for the corner of Trippier, and it's one of those from our angle, high up here in the stands. Could have gone anywhere, maybe, Trippier knew what he was doing.
Listen, just better from Liverpool. Just that extra pass, not forcing it forward down the left-hand side. Diaz on it again. Great run from Robertson around the outside, as you would expect. Just a little bit more patient from Liverpool, therefore getting a better chance. Ball in a good area. Another corner for Liverpool.
Corner for Liverpool. I take it back. I think he knew exactly what he was doing there. Very controlled from Trippier. And it will be a corner to Liverpool, looking for this breakthrough just over the midway point of the first half, and it's whipped in and fizzes all the way across the box, brought down by Salah. Needed a couple of touches to control, lays it off to Gomez, who continues his run as the initial shot was charged down. Isak's gone down as Gomez followed up to try and hit that shot again. Willock can't keep the ball in. Andre Mariner has called back play, and we'll say that it is a free kick in the end. I think he was waiting to see if there was a Newcastle counter on, but there wasn't, and it's gone back into Newcastle's penalty area for a free kick.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, because I think Isak cleared the ball, and I think Gomez caught him slightly. Isak stayed down, and when he realised that Newcastle could be on a break and there might have been a goal scoring opportunity, he was on his feet and he was just about to start sprinting. The referee brings it back. Fans weren't happy with that one.
Motherwell are now 3-0 up against Inverness in the Scottish League Cup as Joe Linton wins the header towards Alexander Isak, who's he being pulled back there by Fabinho. Eddie Howe certainly appealing on the edge of his technical area. Isak keeps going. Liverpool get a foot in. Fraser will win it back. Here is Joe Linton. So busy, the Brazilian, as Target whips it in. Liverpool get the ball away. Diaz will get a touch on it. Fabinho then, very strong coming through the back there. And it looks as though that will be a free kick conceded by Fabinho just on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. It's Joe Willock who went down. Well, it was a hefty challenge from Fabinho. It's given Newcastle a free kick in a great position.
Yeah, he sort of led. I think the referee's given this one because he kind of led with his sort of shoulder, really, not his elbow at all. His elbow was tucked into his side, sort of led with his shoulder. He actually got it with his shoulder, but I think he caught Joe Linton as well, and I think it because Joe Linton's head kind of rocked back and forth kind of quickly. I think he was worried about a head injury, but yeah, there's a free kick now for Newcastle in Trippier territory.
Trippier territory. Spot on, Dion. He has scored 3 goals, Kieran Trippier, for Newcastle. All of them have come from free kicks, and all of them have been absolutely stunning. The latest from a central position, very similar to this, in the 3-3 draw with Manchester City. Now, I think the foul actually
was closer.
Probably 19 yards out. He's been cute here, Trippier. He's moved it back, so he's 21 yards, better angle, can get it up and over the wall. Well, we know that he can hit them.
He'll hit the target. He'll hit the target. He'll hit the target.
Will Allison be there? Harvey Elliott's lying down as the draft excluder behind the wall, but
it's a short draft excluder. That's a short draft excluder. That one.
He tends to go up and over. So what can Newcastle do from this? 0-0, 27 minutes
second
played.
wall as well, Newcastle.
Kieran Trippier stands over this ball. Anfield does its best to put him off. It's Trippier and it is on target, but it's straight at Allison.
Sometimes you expect the goalkeeper to move. He tries to get a better vantage point. Not this time. Allison stays in his position, straight into his hands.
And he's furious there, Allison, because he wanted to take the quick ball out, having claimed that Trippier free kick, but Liverpool's defence and midfield just weren't ready for it. There is a bit of frustration creeping in here. And again, you can hear Anfield respond to that. They're trying to drive their team on. 28 minutes played, 0-0 against Newcastle. Lovely ball there to Salah, almost out of hand ball there from Burns. Salah still going into the penalty area. Newcastle will clear the ball away eventually. Picked up by Fabinho. VAR will be checking. We play on for now as Longstaff steers it forward looking for Isak. Pressuring Gomez, who will go all the way back to Allison. It was a huge shout from Anfield. Salah didn't necessarily make the appeal himself to Andre Mariner, but it's that question, isn't it? What part of Dan Burns' 6'7" frame does it hit, and are his arms making his body unnaturally bigger as the ball is all the way back to Nick Pope, who clears under pressure. 0-0, 29 minutes played here on 5 Live. Alexander Arnold with the interception, and Henderson picks it up to Fabinho.
It's kind of bitty, isn't it? Nobody's really taking the initiative. Liverpool have had most of the possession no clear-cut chances as yet. Newcastle have done well, I think. They're kind of Liverpool are sort of only having the odd chance, and I do believe that Newcastle have set up well just to frustrate Liverpool at the moment.
Liverpool in possession. Harvey Elliott sends it all the way back to Alisson. You did tell me off earlier, Dion, when we were speaking to Drive, because I told you one of my favourite stats, although not favourite because I hope it doesn't come true from a neutral's perspective, but the last time Liverpool won a league game by 9-0, as they did in their previous match against Bournemouth, was 1989 against Crystal Palace. They did draw 0-0 in their next match, and you said, don't say that.
Don't say that. Look at us at the moment, eh? 0-0.
Still an hour to play. Don't worry, Dion, I'll give you another one to balance it out. Only one goalless draw in the last 72 league meetings between Liverpool and Newcastle.
So you've brought it back. Well
That's
done.
better.
Well done. You're back on the Christmas gold list.
Liverpool in possession. It is currently goalless here on 5 Live. Here is Firmino. He's been quiet so far. Barely said his name. Although obviously the work that he does off the ball as well, the movement, but we want to have more touches, having been directly involved in 5 of Liverpool's 9 goals against Bournemouth. 2 goals, 3 assists, that's one more than he's been involved in his last 16 Premier League games. Alexander-Arnold swings the ball in. There are 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. Alexander-Arnold kicks the second one out as Newcastle clear away from inside their own penalty area. Well read by Gomez, who steps up, gets there ahead of Fraser. Liverpool putting the pressure on Newcastle's back line. Played out to the right-hand side now, and Harvey Elliott back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who exchanges passes with Elliott, who is now off down the right-hand side. Newcastle trying to marshal him. Good challenge by Joe Linton. Elliott might pick it up again. Joe Linton challenge again. Great play by the Brazilian. And Ryan Fraser plays it forward. Isak will chase. Alisson's come a long way, 2/3 of the way through his own half. Clears the ball. Here's a bit of Isak as well, and then helps the 23-year-old Swede up to his feet. And the ball goes out for a Newcastle throw.
Yeah, great position from Alisson. Well outside his box, waiting for that ball over the top. We're just having a little look at that handball appeal. I believe it was, first and foremost, I believe it was outside the box, and I think it hit Burns' chest, so they would have looked at it not to be, and rightly so.
So 0-0. Newcastle with the throw on halfway as Jurgen Klopp stands, hands clasped behind his back, watching on as Liverpool win possession through Gomez. Liverpool, who are still missing 8 of their senior players, including Darwin Núñez. He's serving the final match of his 3-game suspension. Alisson plays the ball out to Gomez, interchanges passes with Fabinho. Newcastle again committing the bodies forward outside the Liverpool penalty area, and again cause the error, this time midway through the Liverpool half, and Gomez is deemed to have fouled Fraser, and it's another free kick to Newcastle, 30 yards or so out left-hand side. Back and away at the Etihad. Maz Faruqi.
We were, and we may be expecting changes at half-time, Vicky, from City, but the hat-trick man, the hat-trick beast Erling Haaland is back on in the second half, so he could have more than 3 tonight. Still though, City 3, Forest 0.
Thanks, Maz. A reminder, you can listen to that match online, as you can with Bournemouth against Wolves and Arsenal against Aston Villa. Just go to the BBC Sport website. Over on 5 Sports Extra is West Ham against Tottenham. That was a 7:45 kickoff. All the other 3 7:30. So free kick to Newcastle, 30 yards out, right-hand side. Not Trippier territory, this one. So we'll be swung in towards the edge of the penalty area where the black and white shirts are lined up. It's swung in high, it's flicked away by Fabinho. We'll come out to the right-hand side, and Almiron for Newcastle plays it back to the Liverpool half, and then flicked on towards Fraser, who'd made that run into the penalty area, but Alisson comes, Alisson claims, and Alisson bowls out overarm and finds Harvey Elliott, but the black and white shirts sprint back. Very impressive from Newcastle, getting back into shape. Even more impressive from Harvey Elliott. Lovely skill, ball into the area. Diaz goes round Pope and fires over the bar off balance on the angle. 10 yards out. Huge chance for Liverpool, not taken.
Massive chance for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott outstanding. Played a 1-2 with Henderson, and he dropped in to Firmino. Firmino played a lovely ball. I think it was Firmino. Lovely ball in between the 2 centre-halves. Diaz gets there first. He sort of nudges it away from the penalty spot on the angle, and Salah's coming onto it. I'm thinking, leave it to the left foot of Salah. Absolutely no chance. He tries to turn with his right foot, gets it all wrong, but the movement of the front 3, just the movement, is outstanding from Liverpool.
And that is more like it from Liverpool.
Absolutely,
that is more
yes.
like what we saw them do to such devastating effect against Bournemouth last time here, as Gomez appeals on the halfway line. Free kick isn't given. Everybody's complaining now. The throw is given to Liverpool. Eventually, Jurgen Klopp. Goodness me, I tell you what, Jurgen Klopp wasn't coming away from that without either a free kick for Liverpool or a throw for Liverpool. He's got a throw for Liverpool, and it's all the way back with Alisson. A lovely ball out with the outside of his boot to Joe Gomez, who's then bundled over by Isak. Play continues. Andre Mariner's watching this to see if it goes up towards Diaz. He won't reach it, so he does call play back, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Half-time at Sunderland. Chris Coles.
Sunderland 0, Rotherham 0. Tony Mowbray's new side have edged it. The creators in chief, but a combination of poor finishing and last-ditch defending, the main reasons why they haven't taken the lead. Rotherham look good on the break. Ollie Rathbone and Ben Wiles both going close. No breakthrough though. Sunderland, Rotherham goalless at the break.
Thanks, Chris. Liverpool in possession here, still goalless. 10 minutes to go until half-time. Virgil van Dijk in possession for Liverpool, inside his own half, just exchanging passes with Henderson. Again, Newcastle employing the press, but Gomez plays around it well, and Henderson will send it all the way back to Alisson. Half-time at Ross County. Roddy Forsyth.
Ross County 0, Celtic 2. Celtic warming up with 2 efforts off the crossbar from McGregor and Turnbull, and then McGregor and Giacomakis twice in 4 minutes. 2-0 for Celtic against Ross County here in Dundee.
Thanks, Roddy. Harvey Elliott just shoved over there by Joe Linton, and Jurgen Klopp is absolutely furious. He's going to the 4th official, David Kuhn. Harvey Elliott, a real bright spark for Liverpool, who are playing on. 0-0 here on 5 Live. Alexander-Arnold saw the run. It's collected by Firmino before it can reach Henderson, who had made that run. Newcastle play it away. Joe Linton goes down under the challenge of Henderson. No free kick given. Diaz out to the left-hand side, and Robertson back to Jordan Henderson. 25 yards out, central position. Big shout of man on as Fabinho picks it up and shrugs off the attentions of Isak. And now Salah, the right-hand side, dispossessed by Targett, who clears away. And Targett has been winning that battle with Salah in over half of the situations.
He's done
and that's
well,
no mean feat.
He's done well. He's stood on his feet, which is good. Harvey Elliott's the man tonight. Get the ball to Harvey Elliott. He's playing brilliant tonight.
Poor ball by Trent Alexander-Arnold, straight to the feet of Joe Willock in the centre circle, plays it out to the right-hand side, and Almiron will trap this. 0-0 here on 5 Live. Almiron forced away from the penalty area, doubles back the Paraguayan, and now lays it off to Trippier, who's joined the attack. Pulls it infield looking for Isak, will fall to Longstaff, side it to Isak, flag stays down! 1-0 to Newcastle United! And the club record signing scores on his debut! It's an emphatic powerhouse finish from Alexander Isak, and he gives Newcastle United the lead at Anfield. 1-0.
What a finish, by the way. What an unbelievable finish on the angle. He's been looking lively all game. Newcastle have had to be patient. They haven't really created any clear-cut chances, not like that. Little bit of football. Almiron keeping it simple. Trippier on the right-hand side. Pinged it into I think it was into Longstaff, and Longstaff just rolled it in between 2 red shirts. And there's Isak. He didn't take a touch. He just put it in the back of the net at pace.
And it comes again, Dion, from another Liverpool error, giving away possession, this time Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, unnecessarily giving it away as well, and I think it was Trent Alexander on this occasion. They've looked good, Newcastle. They haven't looked great, they've looked good, they've looked patient.
Now, we've not restarted yet. The offside did look tight, so VAR will just be double-checking. You think it's all right, Dion?
It's not offside, it's massively onside.
And Andre Mariner's walking back. Liverpool have the ball on the centre spot.
Just seen it once, Vicky, on the screen in front of us, and he's onside. So,
we will confirm the restart, and then we'll be heading to the Etihad, where there's been another goal. And Dion's right, it's onside. It's 1-0 Newcastle to the Etihad. Maz Faruqi.
João Cancelo has added a City 4th. It was a lovely strike from the edge of the area that rifled into the top left-hand corner past Dean Henderson. City 4, Forest 0.
Thanks, Maz. Ball is back with Alisson, who plays it out to Fabinho, and it's the away fans, that Geordie contingent down to our left, that are making all the noise at the moment. They have won just once at Anfield in the Premier League. That was back in April 1994. They're ahead here, but they were ahead last time these sides met, back in December at this ground. Liverpool went on to win 3-1, but Liverpool, who Jurgen Klopp admitted had a point to prove after they beat Bournemouth by 9-0. Liverpool, who have won just once in the Premier League so far this season, are behind, and that doesn't stay the case very often at Anfield. 25 Premier League home games they've gone without defeat. You have to go all the way back to March 2021. Lots of football still to play. 5 minutes plus added time in this half as Liverpool build down the right hand side. We'll be heading to the London Stadium where it's half time shortly as Liverpool knock it around and Gomez plays it square to Van Dijk. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1. Alexander Isak on his Newcastle debut. Big smiles, I'm sure, from the Geordie contingent that work permit did just about come through in time. Gomez has it on the halfway line, out to Harvey Elliott, who's been a bright spark for Liverpool, to no avail so far. What can they do here with Firmino? A little bit of space for Alexander-Arnold, pulls the ball across, cleared away by Trippier, out for a throw. Let's go to West Ham, Mike Williams.
Spurs have the lead at the break at the London Stadium. Son bundling in from close range after a cross from Kane, who in turn had been given the ball by Kulusevski at the end of a lightning break from the visitors. Earlier West Ham had hit the post through Antonio. Fornells and Rice also forced good saves out of Lloris, but Spurs also had a penalty awarded by the referee but overturned by VAR. They do though deserve this lead here in the London derby. Just West Ham 0, Spurs 1.
And half-time's in the Championship. Bristol City lead Huddersfield by 1-0. 0-0 between Coventry and Preston. Swansea 1-0 up at Stoke, and it's goalless between Sunderland and Rotherham. The 8 o'clock kick-off, Blackburn are still 1-0 up at Blackpool as Liverpool win the corner. Dion Dublin.
You know, there's a chance for Liverpool there. I mean, it's a great ball from Trent Alexander, just across that 6-yard box, pinged it, one defender, one forward. Get across your man, you got to tap in. Diaz didn't.
3.5 minutes plus added time to play in the first half as the corner is swung in and headed behind immediately once again for another Liverpool corner, and they've used the multi-ball system well there. They've taken this one short and quickly. Newcastle need to stay switched on, and they do. Target wins the header, back in by Alexander-Arnold, powerfully cleared away by Longstaff. Gomez will pick it up midway through the Newcastle half. Newcastle who lead by 1-0. Here is Henderson, forced away from the Newcastle box, and now Fabinho out to the left-hand side, and Robertson plays it forward to Harvey Elliott, lifts it in, Henderson traps it inside the box, hooks it towards goal, but it's easy for Nick Pope, who goes down almost. I'll tell you what, there Newcastle have a player down. I wonder if Nick Pope was almost going to go down there, and then Sarachi, one of my teammates, has gone down, so I don't need to. It's Sean Longstaff who's down, grabbing his face, then grabbing his knee, just getting back up to his feet. And Nick Pope waits, and the seconds tick away. Newcastle leading by 1-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he goes down for actually there. There's a bit of a collision there with Henderson, and then Longstaff stays down, he gets up, he stays down, and then he sees the keeper's got his hands on the ball and he gets up again. I don't know what they are wanting to waste time for at the moment. They're 1 up, keep going, keep playing the same way. They've done something really well, Newcastle. They've allowed Liverpool to have the ball in non-dangerous areas. What I mean by that is their own final third. As soon as they get into the middle of the pitch, Newcastle look very well drilled to put Liverpool under pressure.
Liverpool it is with the throw. Alexander-Arnold over the halfway line, over the head of Salah as well, cleared away at the back for Newcastle. A heavy challenge there on Matt Target. Jurgen Klopp is furious. He doesn't feel there was anything wrong with that. Andre Marin is coming over. Trent Alexander-Arnold has come over to check on the welfare of Matt Target, and Jamal Lascelles, the Newcastle captain's come all the way over as well to have a word. Yeah,
I think there's a little coming together between Salah and Target, and actually as the ball goes over, Target said, Salah pats him on the back as if to say, I didn't mean that, pal, and he's up on his feet again, Target, so he did catch him, but I don't think it was too bad. Salah acknowledged the contact.
It's been quiet, Salah.
He has been quiet, and it's down to the way they've set up. You know, they don't mind defending together, they don't mind attacking together. I mean, Joe Linton's marking Salah at the moment at left back. They're all doing a job, they're all mucking in.
Very satisfactory so far for Newcastle United, leading by 1-0. Alexander Isak, the new club record signing, scoring on his debut. As the ball is out to the right hand side for Liverpool. Salah approaching the penalty area, dinks it infield to Alexander-Arnold, who pulled it across. He was looking for Henderson, who gives the thumbs up, but Willock read it well, and Newcastle will try and counter with Isak, the only black and white shirt up there, eased off it by Fabinho, and now Harvey Elliott sends it back to Virgil van Dijk into the final minute of normal time at the end of this first half. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1. here on BBC Radio 5 Live as Alisson collects it inside his own penalty area. Forward now to Joe Gomez as Newcastle get back in shape. Newcastle, who don't have as many players out, injured as Liverpool, but are without Callum Wilson, such a big player for them. Bruno Guimaraes as well, outstanding since his arrival. And Alisson Maximin, of course, a lively Frenchman, scoring the late equaliser against Wolves in their last match. What a goal that was as well, an outstanding volley. 3 big players to be missing as Liverpool have the ball over on the left-hand side. And that's the thing with Wilson, he's a great player when he's fit, he's prolific when he's fit.
Yes.
He's not fit enough. This is why Isak could be such a huge player for them as we enter 4 minutes of added time, because Chris Wood, since his move from Burnley, hasn't really hit the heights. As Harvey Elliott comes down the right-hand side for Liverpool, plays it in, half a shout for handball, nothing doing. Longstaff's arms were right down by his side. In fact, it was target in the end, but still, the analysis is the same. Fabinho has it for Liverpool. Now Elliott swings it left-footed into the area. The header was important. It's taken away from Salah. It's behind for a corner.
I tell you what, Elliott has been like the senior tonight. He's telling everybody where to go. He wants the ball all the time. He's taking it in really tight situations. He's actually pulling Liverpool forward. Lovely sort of first half performance from the young lad.
Can Liverpool pull themselves level on the stroke of half-time? The corner is whipped in, and it's whipped straight into the arms of Nick Pope, who does decide to fall over this time. They want to get to half-time, Newcastle, don't they? They know it's a precious lead.
Yeah, they do. It's quite frustrating, I would imagine, if the keeper catches it and then he thinks, oh, I'm going to fall on the floor. And he kills about 15 seconds, which, you know, if your team's up by a goal, take it.
Yeah, you can almost see the slow motion thought process as the slow motion fall happens, but does launch it forward then. Nick Pope, who's another who has done very well for Newcastle since his arrival in the summer. Very established number 1, which of course they brought him to be. As Newcastle builds down the right hand side, the ball across was a dangerous one. Alexander-Arnold, though, is able to control on the edge of his own 6-yard box. Just weren't quite tight enough there, Newcastle. And Harvey Elliott will play it forward once again. Here is Firmino. Robertson over the halfway line, has Diaz ahead of him, plays it behind Diaz, but Diaz will still collect. Newcastle getting back into their shape. Diaz still has it over on the left hand side, drags the ball back. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1 here on 5 Live as Robertson sends it back to Van Dijk. Every player bar Alisson in the Newcastle half as we enter the final 2 minutes of added on time. Good ball down to the byline for Robertson, pulls it back across just over the head of Elliott. Alexander-Arnold shoots, blocked. Was that Joe Linton's elbow? It was right by his side. Shout from the fans rather than Alexander-Arnold, who does well to win the corner.
Yeah, it's a half shout for a penalty. Alexander-Arnold's shot was way off target anyway, so I don't think they were ever going to get that, but just a bit sloppy in the final third. Liverpool not knowing what pass to play and not executing at the moment.
Alexander-Arnold with the corner, flicked away by Newcastle. Salah will chase over on that left-hand side and will keep it in. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1, entering the final minute of added time in this first half as Harvey Elliott plays the ball in, looking for the run of Salah. That's a great header as well, and Trippier is roaring at Dan Burn. Perhaps a little bit of confusion there in the Newcastle defence, but Trippier did exactly the right thing there.
Yeah.
Knew that Salah was in and around and sent it behind for the corner.
Just be safe, just be safe. You're nearly at half time. You're 1-0 up at Anfield. Don't take any chances.
No grounds that Newcastle have not won at in any competition since 1995 as the corner is swung in, spins away from everybody. Salah will pick it up. Alexander-Arnold drives from 25 yards. The ricochet won't quite fall to Fraser. Well tidied up by Gomez. Salah forward, lovely ball. Fabinho right hand side of the penalty area, forced out of the box, well marshalled. Salah picks it up, and is that a corner? Yes it is. Willock was appealing for it, but it is another Liverpool corner. They're pushing, but they're running out of time in this first half. 20 seconds of added time left to play. Can they find a leveller? They have peppered Newcastle with these set pieces. Alexander-Arnold swings it in from the right hand side towards Van Dijk, cleared away by Dan Burn, will be picked up by Robertson, has to get it in the box, does so, plays it in. It feels like the end of the 90 this, headed back in by Robertson, claimed by Nick Pope, and Andre Mariner puts the whistle to his lips and says that is that. So half time at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1, and a goal on his debut for Alexander Isak, the club record signing. And my word, Dion, didn't he take it just beautifully?
Emphatically, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's worked really hard for the side. Liverpool possibly had the lion's share of possession, but Newcastle, the way they've set up in possession has been right, knowing when to squeeze out of possession, working hard to get back into that 5-4-1. It's worked for them. Eddie Howe has got this first 45 minutes absolutely spot on.
Well, Trent Alexander-Arnold is down there deep in conversation with Andre Mariner. I think Liverpool's frustration growing because they feel that Newcastle's players sometimes went down a bit easily, but really frustration growing with themselves.
Yeah, because they've not quite had the chance to play the beautiful football that we know they can play. We know that they want time on the ball to pick a pass. They've not had any time at all from the middle third to Newcastle's final third. Newcastle have just waited and waited and pounced in 3s and 4s and 5s, and Liverpool have been forced into mistakes.
Liverpool unbeaten in their last 26 Premier League games at Anfield against Newcastle. 45 minutes, they need to change that, or that run will come to an end. Half time at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1.
And we'll be there back for the second half at Anfield for that game between Liverpool and Newcastle. Half time in the Championship in the Lancashire derby at Bloomfield Road. John Akers.
Blackpool 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Familiar scorer Ben Brayton Diaz took his goal brilliantly, his third of the season, sent away by Bradley Dack. It's a lovely right-footed finish, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, pace and power. He's having a good game. Dom Hyam as well on his debut after signing from Coventry. Blackpool had fewer chances. Bowler's gone the closest for them, a curler over from 25 yards. It's Blackpool 0, Blackburn 1.
So in the Premier League at half-time, Liverpool 0, Newcastle United 1. One of 5 Premier League matches tonight. The other 4 are all underway. We'll get the latest now from the Etihad Stadium. Maz Faruqi.
City 4, Forest 0, 65 minutes played. Both sides have made a couple of changes, Jules, in the second half. Now Mahrez and Palmer on for Foden and Rodrigo for City. Awoniyi and Dennis on for Forest in place of Gibbs White and Johnson. But the momentum of the game hasn't changed at all as City go in the attack again and score a 5th. That was Julian Alvarez with a goal in his first City start. I was about to mention him in all the noise about Erling Haaland. We hadn't mentioned him yet, but he hit the post in the first half and he finally has his goal. He deserves that. So it's now City 5, Forest 0. I still feel we could have more here.
I think they've wrapped that one up, Manchester City. Another 7:30 kick-off. Jonathan Overend.
Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. It remains. Arsenal should have been further in front by the break, and they've just taken their foot off the pedal a little bit in the first section of this second half. Jesus just turns them into a different team. It's the first time I've watched them live this season, Arsenal, having watched their final match of last season. But Jesus, with his speed and his power up front, just gives them so many options. And with Ødegaard in this advanced 10 role, they look so dangerous every time they get into the Villa half. Arsenal 1, Villa 0 it remains, though.
Second half underway. Bournemouth against Wolves. Kelly Summers.
Yeah, still Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, but a marked improvement from the hosts at the start of the second half. They've had 4 shots now, the best being amazing Zumura run, which ended in a blocked effort for Tavernier on 49 minutes. Wolves do still look dangerous going forward. Their best effort of the half so far, a Matinho free kick, which was deflected behind. They've also made a change. Wolves, 8 Nori is on for Semedo, still goalless.
Thanks, Kelly, and you can hear commentary of those 3 fixtures across the BBC Sport website and app. We're going to dip back into the Championship. Tony Mowbray's Sunderland against Rotherham. Chris Coles.
Sunderland 0, Rotherham 0. Juliet 3 minutes into the second half. Tony Mowbray's side looked far more threatening in the first half, and they've started this second half very much on the front foot as well. Just had a decent chance for Ellis Sims, but he just couldn't quite get onto a through ball into the penalty area. Sunderland during half time also announcing the signing of Amad Diallo on loan from Manchester United. The 20-year-old winger who had a spell at Rangers last season will spend the rest of this season on loan at the Stadium of Light. 0-0 between Sunderland and Rotherham.
3 other matches in the Championship. It's Bristol City 1, Huddersfield Town 0. Latest scores: Coventry City 0, Preston North End 0, and Alex Neil Stoke City are losing at home to Swansea. Swansea 1-0 up at the Bet 365. To Scotland, Roddy Forsyth, Ross County against Celtic.
Ross County 0, Celtic 2. We're into the second half here. 9 is Celtic's lucky number. Like Liverpool, they scored 9 on Saturday, but unlike Liverpool, they're actually winning. They took a little time to warm up with 2 off the crossbar. First, a header from Welsh from a Celtic corner kick, and then Turnbull's free kick deflected onto the crossbar. and having found their range, they then adjusted the sights very slightly. Callum McGregor from close range from a corner kick, followed by Giacomakis, another close range one after a back heel inside the penalty area by Leila Bada. Celtic cruising towards the quarter-finals. It's Ross County 0, Celtic 2.
Thanks, Roddy. That's in the Scottish League Cup. Elsewhere, Hearts 0, Kilmarnock 1, Livingston 0, Dundee United 2, Motherwell 3, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0. This is 5 Live Sport. We're going to go to Manchester City now. Maz Faruqi, you've got an update for us. I think, is it Haaland's coming off?
He is indeed, Juliet. So City still lead 5-0 here over Forest. Massive cheers though as Erling Haaland leaves the pitch. But if you're Forest right now, you don't want to see the man who's just come on in his place, Kevin De Bruyne. So it's hardly like they've gone from plan A to plan C. Kevin De Bruyne is now on for the final 20 minutes or so in this match. City still lead 5-0.
Thanks, Maz. Even Stuart Clarkson smiling. At 5 to 9 with the latest news. Here he is.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Jules. Good evening. Ryan Giggs could face a retrial after the jury in his case were discharged after failing to reach verdicts on any of the charges against him. He'd been accused of controlling behaviour towards his former partner as well as assaulting her and her sister. He denied the charges. Our sports editor Dan Roan has been at Manchester Crown Court.
The jury of 7 women and 4 men, after one of the original jurors was lost due to ill health, was asked by the judge whether, if they were given more time after 23 hours of deliberations, it was likely they'd reach a verdict on any of the 3 charges. They said no, and at that point she thanked them and they were discharged. Now the CPS have to decide in the next week whether or not they will seek a retrial. The judge did say, however, that if they do, it won't take place until next June at the earliest. Giggs hung his head when discovering how long this case may take to conclude.
Train drivers at 12 rail companies will strike again a fortnight tomorrow as part of an ongoing dispute over pay. Members of the ASLEF union will walk out on the 15th of September after talks broke down. They went on strike earlier this month and last month as well. Royal Mail has apologised for the disruption caused to deliveries today after 115,000 staff went out on strike as part of their pay row. The Communication Workers Union has described the latest wage offer as nowhere near enough. The funeral of Mikhail Gorbachev will take place on Saturday following his death yesterday at the age of 91. It's unclear if President Putin will attend, as many Russians blame him for the breakup of the Soviet Union in the early 90s. The Queen will break with tradition and appoint the new Prime Minister at Balmoral on Tuesday instead of at Buckingham Palace. It's understood the decision was made to prevent any last-minute rearrangements because the Queen has been suffering from mobility issues in recent months. And John Lewis and Waitrose say they'll offer all their staff free food over the winter to help with the rising cost of living. The food will be handed out from the beginning of October until January.
Do you fancy yourself at fantasy football? If you fancy it, enter your team in the BBC's Fantasy 606 League and get listening to the Fantasy 606 podcast with me, Alistair Bruce Ball, Maverick manager Chris Sutton.
Why don't you two team up and have the same team?
And the man with all the top tips, Statman Dave.
I've actually spent a bit of time on Dave recently. You don't need to do everything at once, Chris.
The code to join the league is AHRSF2 and the pod is out every Thursday on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
And I'm Juliet Farrington. We'll be going back to Anfield very shortly for the second half between Liverpool and Newcastle, where Newcastle lead by 1-0. We're just going to check in on all the other sport, though, very, very quickly. To the 100, Manchester Originals and Oval Invincibles at Old Trafford. Henry Moran.
39 runs required from 28 deliveries for the Manchester Originals to book their place in Friday's Eliminator against the London Spirit. If the Oval Invincibles can win this game, it'll be them joining their cross-London neighbours at Southampton on Friday. This game is reaching its crunch point, 39 needed from 28.
Thanks, Henry. To New York, the US Open tennis. Some good news. Andy Murray is through to the third round. A 4-sets win over the American Emilio Nava. Correspondent Russell Fuller watched him do it. Russ, how impressive did he look then?
He looked very good in the end, although Emilio Nava, at 20 years of age and ranked outside the top 200, played an amazing first set, which he won by 7 games to 5. You could see why he's the son of a guy who competed in the 100 metres at the Seoul Olympics of 1988. So fast, but really That was all he had to offer, and Murray reeled him in and rattled through the rest of the match, winning the sets 6-3, 6-1, 6-love. And he's into the third round of a Grand Slam, Juliet, for only the second time since Wimbledon 2017. He's most likely to play Matteo Berrettini of Italy in the third round on Friday. He's currently 2-1 up on Hugo Grenier of France.
The one thing watching him after losing that first set, Andy, he kind of wasn't messing around, was he, for the remaining three?
I think he was very aware of how well this 20-year-old was playing, and he also knew experience was telling him, I've been here before. He's 20, he's ranked 203 in the world for a reason. I don't think he can sustain this level, and Andy Murray started to step it up a little bit, to hit the ball more powerfully, won the second set, and then it was completely one-way traffic.
And a word on Harriet Dart as well. She's in action in her second round match right now.
And it's a good opportunity for her, having beaten the 10th seed Daria Kasatkina in the opening round. She's playing Dalma Galfi of Hungary, who's ranked 3 places lower than her at 91. Galfi has got so much strapping on her right shoulder and her left leg and knee, but it's not going to plan for the British player, who would become the British #1, overtaking Emma Raducanu were she to win this match. Unfortunately, she trails 6-4, 4-love.
Thanks very much, Russell. Russell Fuller there, our correspondent in New York. After midnight on 5 Live, you'll have commentary as well of Serena Williams' second round match, and it could be her last ever in the singles, of course, depending on how she gets on with that. Before we go back to Anfield, we can go to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland against Rotherham. Chris Coles.
We have seen, Juliet, the first goal of the Tony Mowbray era at Sunderland, scored by Ross Stewart, his 4th of the season, sweeping home Jack Clark's low cross from 6 yards out. It's a deserved lead as well. Sunderland 1, Rotherham 0, 11 minutes played in the second half.
In the Premier League, a 7:45 kickoff, West Ham against Tottenham. Mike Williams is there. Commentary of this, by the way, on Radio 5 Sports Extra.
Played 7 minutes of the second half here, Juliet. It's still West Ham 0, Tottenham 1. Spurs leading by that Son goal in the first half, and Son's just had another effort to double the visitors' lead. Kane again pulled it back for Son. He got his shot away, but a West Ham leg managed to deflect it out for a corner. Spurs still on top though. West Ham looking to press for an equaliser. And just off the pitch, Jules, you remember before the match you were talking to James Collins, our summariser on Sports Extra this evening, about the DJ here at the London Stadium. Well, he's been back on at half-time, and I can confirm he's an actual DJ here on the touchline with decks, giving it to the crowd. Not seen that at a football stadium before, and he was smashing out some Fatboy Slim, a very bassy remix of Right Here, Right Now. The crowd, I think, despite trailing the break, were seemingly loving it. They had a bit of a light show as well, and it was pretty good. I think we need more of that, don't we, at Premier League grounds?
Yeah, we like that. We like DJs and their decks. Arsenal against Aston Villa. There's been a goal, Jonathan Overend.
Well, how about this? Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 1, and Arsenal should have been out of sight at half-time, but with his very first touch, Douglas Luiz has scored direct from a corner. It's astonishing. Gerrard just made a double substitution. Luiz came on for the captain, John McGinn. He went straight over to the far side to take the corner, in swinger, and it's gone straight through the Arsenal bodies, straight through Ramsdale, into the net. VAR have checked it, there was no foul, and it's Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 1.
And Jonathan, that will certainly change his mood, Steven Gerrard, won't it?
Well, it will, because he's watched most of this second half from his seat in the dugout, which here at the Emirates is actually quite some distance from the touchline, but he's certainly out and in the technical area now, enthused by that. You only need one chance, and well, that wasn't even a chance, it was a corner. Well, sometimes you need the luck, don't you? But it was well executed, and 15 minutes to go, 1-1.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Elsewhere in the Premier League, it's Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, Manchester City 5, Nottingham Forest 0, West Ham 0, as you've just been hearing from Mike Williams, Spurs 1. And at Anfield, you can hear the PA system in full voice. Liverpool 0, Newcastle United 1. And for how good Newcastle have been, Dion Dublin and Vicky Sparks, the Liverpool slow start continues, conceding the first goal again. What should we expect in the second?
Well, I'm expecting that Liverpool have had a few words from the manager. They'll come out a little bit sharper. They know they have to be better in the middle third and the final third, their attacking third. I tell you what they've done. They've been forced to play through midfield, Liverpool, and they just haven't got it right. Newcastle have been working incredibly hard. Joe Linton's been brilliant. Longstaff hasn't done a lot on the offensive, but he's organised that midfield. So very well organised Newcastle. Liverpool have to do a lot more to break them down.
I'll ask you a little bit more about that midfield, Dion, in a moment, after we've been back to the Emirates and Jonathan Overend.
And Steven Gerrard is sitting straight back down again because Arsenal are back in front. They lead 2-1 straight up the other end from the kickoff. Lovely move. Saka took his time, patience, chipped it to the fast post, and there was Martinelli to strike it past Martinez. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1.
Sounds like you've got a good game going on there. Let's go to Mike Williams at the London Stadium.
Brilliant game here as well. It's an equaliser for West Ham. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1, and it's Thomas Souček who has bundled it in. Ball up over the top. The Tottenham defence all at sea, and the big check was there to bundle it past Lloris, who is not happy. His protestations falling on deaf ears, though the bubble machine is cranking up into fifth gear, and West Ham are back on level terms. Brilliant setup from Antonio, and Souček falling down managed to poke it past Lloris. 1-1.
And they're back underway at Anfield for the second half. Newcastle leading Liverpool by 1-0. Dion Dublin and Vicky Sparks.
Thanks, Jules. No changes for either side at half-time, as Liverpool look to avoid their first defeat at Anfield in the Premier League to Newcastle since April 1994. That is the only time in the Premier League that Newcastle have won here. But Eddie Howe's side unbeaten so far this season with the lead, thanks to their new record signing, Alexander Isak, £60 million from Real Sociedad. An emphatic finish 7 minutes before the break. But Dion Dublin, do you expect that we will see a different Liverpool in the second half? I'll get your thoughts in a second, because they might have an early chance here, but Salah, ambitious, tried to loop it over Nick Pope from the edge of the penalty area. It's behind for a Newcastle goal kick.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went for that, actually. It was a great ball by Trent Alexander, outside of the right boot, into that right wing area. He's only about 15 yards away from the corner flag. He tries to lob the keeper with his right foot, ambitious, but you can see that Salah has still got the eye for the goals.
So Liverpool playing from right to left in this second half in all red. Newcastle in their home kit as well, the black and white shirts, the black shorts and the black socks. Liverpool with Alisson in goal, the back four of Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. Elliott, Fabinho and Henderson ahead of them, with Salah and Diaz supporting Firmino up front. It's the same lineup that won 9-0 against Bournemouth on Saturday. Liverpool still without 8 senior players through largely injury and also the suspension of Darwin Núñez. Here is Trippier on the ball for Newcastle. Back to Longstaff, who is starting again in the absence of the injured Bruno Guimaraes. Newcastle missing Alan St-Maximin as well for this one. Callum Wilson, you already knew about as well. As Nick Pope clears the ball downfield, looking for Joe Linton, challenging with Gomez. Referee Andre Marino lets that go, and Salah then was caught there. Yes, he was, by Dan Burns, stepping up out of defence, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Longstaff has not allowed them to take that quickly. He's picked the ball up, and Andre Marino will let Sean Longstaff just get away with the talking to there, and it's a free kick to Liverpool on halfway. So Newcastle, who lead by 1-0, with Pope in goal, the back four of Trippier, Lascelles, Byrne and Targett. Ahead of them, Willock, Longstaff and Joe Linton, with Almiron and Fraser supporting the goal scorer, the debutant, the record signing, Alexander Isak, up top. And Willock, who's putting on the early pressure as Liverpool send the ball back to Alisson. And now Van Dijk over the halfway line, looking for the run of Luis Diaz. Robertson's taken up the central position. Diaz still going. That's a brilliant challenge by Kieran Trippier. It's behind for a Liverpool corner, and they have forced Newcastle into those challenges in their own penalty area. So far, Newcastle have got them spot on.
Only just. Lunging tackle from Kieran Trippier and Diaz.
So corner to Liverpool from this near side. Robertson stands over it. 3 minutes gone in this second half. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1. Robertson with the corner. Pope Kane wasn't sure. It's flicked away by Lascelles, who urges his side to get out of the penalty area. Alexander-Arnold sends it back in. The flicked header is wide from 14 yards out, just trickles across that far post, and Roberto Firmino looks in disgust at where his effort went.
Yeah, just sort of, I know we're early into the second half, but sort of half chances at the moment for Liverpool. They're playing sort of, I hope that finds my man at the moment. They're not really precise with the pass, leave it into an area, hopefully a play will be there, where Liverpool are normally more precise than that and can always find another red shirt in a good area. not being able to do that tonight, being forced to play passes they don't really want to play.
Motherwell now 4-0 up against Inverness in the Scottish League Cup as Newcastle send the ball forward to their goal scorer Isak. Liverpool win the header. Joe Linton gets something on it, cleared away by Henderson. Was he caught there by Willock? Andre Mariner not too interested. The ball's gone out of play. What are the officials going to decide? In the end, they do decide that Henderson was caught there by Willock, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Jules was mentioning just before she handed back to us this habit that Liverpool have of conceding the first goal. Of course, there was so much focus on the Bournemouth result because it was so fantastic, but they've now conceded the opening goal in 8 of their last 9 Premier League games. Points still to be proved for Jurgen Klopp and his side. That's what he said they needed to do against Bournemouth, and they did so. They need to prove a point in this second half as well because they're trailing by a goal to nil on 5 Live, and they've lost possession as Trippier picks it up just inside the Liverpool half, steps away very nicely from Firmino. Now Dan Burn will bring it over the halfway line, lays it off to Matt Targett, and now out on the left-hand side to Ryan Fraser, just ahead of Joe Linton, and Alexander-Arnold has it. Goal in the Championship at Sunderland, Chris Coles.
Tony Mowbray's first half team talk has worked wonders. His Sunderland side lead 2-0. Jack Clarke to Ross Stewart for the first, Jack Clarke to Ross Stewart for the second. It was a carbon copy, and Stewart has his 5th of the season, and Sunderland have a 2-0 lead over Rotherham.
Newcastle coming down that left-hand side of their penalty area, stopping the Liverpool attack as Fabinho then commits the foul. Let's head to the US Open. Russell Fuller.
Disappointment for Harriet Dart. She's lost 6-4, 6-love to Dalma Galfi of Hungary. She's out of the US Open in the second round. Andy Murray through. He'll play Wimbledon runner-up from last year Matteo Berrettini next, and possibly Serena Williams' final singles match is on 5 Live from midnight.
Thanks, Russell. Here at Anfield, it is still Newcastle who lead by a goal to nil as Nick Pope again takes his time coming out to that left-hand side. Only 6 minutes gone in the second half. Only so many seconds he can eke out, but so far, so very good for Newcastle this evening as Gomez wins the header. Picked up by Joe Linton, sends it out to the left-hand side, and Fraser back to Targett, who turns under pressure from Salah, all the way back to Dan Burn. Dean Dublin alongside me. What do Liverpool need to do to get Firmino and Salah into the game more?
Well, they've got to keep the ball better.
Got to defend this first.
Yeah, they've got to defend it
Van Dijk
first.
clears the ball away. Newcastle throw deep in Liverpool territory.
Yeah, they've just got to keep the ball better. You know, a little bit more movement off the ball and give the man. It's very simple. Give the man on the ball lots and lots of options. They haven't had that tonight, Liverpool. The midfield's been pretty stagnant. I said before, Longstaff and Willock and Joe Linton have got that one all sorted out at the moment.
Newcastle throw into the penalty area from Trippier is cleared away by Liverpool, but again they're surrounded by black and white shirts, and Firmino's ball is intercepted. Here is Willock, ball into the penalty area. Alisson has to watch it and does so expertly, claims and bowls it out over arm to Harvey Elliott, who takes the ball in his stride up against Joe Linton, who just slips the Brazilian, and that allows Elliott to cut and field, but he's still just inside his own half. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Here is Robertson, plays it back on the halfway line to Henderson. And there is a strange feeling around Anfield at the moment. They are not used to losing to Newcastle here, but they're into the penalty area now. Diaz pulls the ball across. Excellent interception. Robertson, big shout for handball. Goes behind for the corner. VAR, of course, will have a look, but again, it was another last-ditch block by Newcastle, this time by Willock.
Yeah, it was actually a block from Willock. Actually, the ball was just falling out to Robertson on his right foot. I'm thinking, concentrate. He does. And you know what? I've just seen a replay of that one, and I'm just thinking, did it touch his hand? No, it hit his side, then onto his arm. So no handball for me.
Tell you what, if it doesn't hit his side though, his arm is out a bit, isn't it? It's taking a little bit of a risk, although it's so difficult to adjust your body.
So
was close. Don't want to give the referee a decision to make though. Corner it is to Liverpool. Swung in from the left-hand side. Players down in the 6-yard box. The fans are appealing for a penalty. Liverpool are playing on. Shot blocked inside the area. Dink back in by Henderson. Help forwards towards goal by Van Dijk. But didn't have the pace or direction straight into the arms of Nick Pope.
Look at that, Vicky. I'm just watching Jordan Henderson. I think it is. Is it Jordan Henderson or is it Robertson?
And Newcastle could be in here at the other end. Isak behind the Liverpool defence into the penalty area, going for his second. Oh, and he scores it brilliantly. Newcastle United thought they led by 2-0. The flag's gone up. VAR will have a look. But again, it's lovely play from Alexander Isak, the new record signing. For now, the goal's ruled out.
Yeah, you know what? Even though, yeah, he's just maybe. Oh, it's a close one.
I don't know about that.
It's a close one.
The angles of the pitch, this is going to be really, really tight. It's brilliant composure inside the penalty area. Checks back. Robertson sliding in, gets the ball onto his right foot and curls it in. Andre Mariner is saying we're waiting, we're checking. We're not seeing the replay. The VAR sign is up on the screen. I think this offside is going to be tight, but Dion's called it again.
No, I think
the
his shoulder was just offside.
Given.
I thought there was the back foot of the defender may have played him on, but I think no, he was just offside. Went a little bit too early, but the cool finish, he didn't know he was offside. Cool finish.
Absolutely. You've got to stick it in the back of the net, and Alexander Isak did that. Flag went up. Offside decision stands, and it is still just the one goal advantage that Newcastle lead by as they have it at the back, cleared long downfield by Dan Burn. Joe Gomez will get there ahead of Isak, who just about gets enough on it. Gomez to Alisson, who calmly plays it out. Goal at the Etihad. Mats Fruki.
Julian Alvarez has his second City sixth. It was a move started at pace on the counter by Kevin De Bruyne, right to Mahrez, then back into the centre. Julian Alvarez adding the sixth with a left-footed shot. City 6, Forest 0.
Ball out to the left-hand side, brought down by Diaz. Again, well pressured, this time by Almiron, and the offside flag is up, so it'll be a free kick to Newcastle, who lead by 1-0. Goal at Sunderland, Chris Coles.
Perfect start for Tony Mowbray. Sunderland 3, Rotherham 0. Jack Clark, provider of the first two, scorer of the third, cutting across the penalty area, firing into the bottom corner. Sunderland 3, Rotherham 0.
And a goal at Ross County, Roddy Forsyth.
Celtic scripts, Ross County are back in it again. Alex Jacobiti run marked inside the box for a header from 8 yards. That makes it Ross County 1, Celtic 2, because McGregor and Giacomakis had scored for the visitors earlier.
So free kick to Newcastle, who lead by 1-0 here at Anfield. 11 minutes gone in the second half as they break into the penalty area again. Henderson will clear the ball away. Done well there. Henderson clears it off Isak for a Liverpool goal kick. Tell you what, we just saw a freeze frame of that offside, Dion.
I know.
He wasn't far away,
no,
was he?
Absolutely not. You know what, and Newcastle found themselves into some really good areas as well. It's just that final ball. The runs have been great, but the final ball's been poor from Newcastle. They could have got in 2 or 3 more times already in the second half.
Will that come back to bite them as they look for their first win at Anfield in any competition since 1995? Only their second Premier League win ever. Preston are 1-0 up at Coventry in the Championship, and Newcastle are just having the better of it every area of the pitch at the moment. The frustration is rippling around Anfield once more. They like that though. Good challenge by Gomez. Ball forward. Nick Pope comes out of his penalty area to head it away from Salah. Firmino then is out-muscled by Joe Linton, but it's picked up by Harvey Elliott. Pope is back inside his 6-yard area, but Liverpool are being roared on. Here is Robertson, left-hand side of the area, plays the ball across, and Pope comes and claims that expertly on the left-hand side of his 6-yard box. And let's head to the London Stadium. Mike Williams.
£51 million signing Lucas Paqueta, the club record signing for West Ham, has just made his appearance to rapturous reception here in East London. He's replaced Ben Rama for the final 22 minutes here. Can he make an impact? Can he urge West Ham to this winner? But it is still West Ham 1, Spurs 1.
Thanks, Mike. You can listen to that commentary over on 5 Sports Extra as Gomez shepherds the ball out for a Liverpool goal kick. And a reminder that the 7:30 kickoffs, which are coming to a conclusion in the Premier League, are available to listen to on the BBC Sport website. Manchester City against Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth against Wolves, and Arsenal against Aston Villa. City leading by 6-0 goalless between Bournemouth and Wolves, and Arsenal 2-1 up against Aston Villa. Here at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1. As Liverpool in possession. We talk about the impact that Team Talks have made across some of our games on 5 Live this evening. Haven't really seen a change from Liverpool in the second half.
Not yet. We haven't, not yet. There's still time. They're still trying to feel their way into this game. They just can't get a foothold in it. They're not quite sure how to play it. Do we go long? Do we go short? They look a little bit out of sorts.
Robertson plays the ball across, chested down on the edge of the penalty area. Appeal for handball. by some of the Newcastle players, not given. Liverpool forced back, but will now spray it out to the right-hand side once more. Here is Harvey Elliott, right-hand side of the penalty area, and now Alexander-Arnold plays the ball in, but plays it straight into target, and now Newcastle can counter. And here is Isak, very well intercepted by Van Dijk just inside the Liverpool half. But Isak is really causing Liverpool some problems every time he drives across that halfway line. His pace, his technique, as the ball is over the top. Salah lays it off. Diaz excellently challenged. Elliott is there inside the box, and Pope makes the save. A low-driven effort from Harvey Elliott, who scored his first Premier League goal in the last match against Bournemouth. But Pope is there to deny him.
Yeah, Salah had the chance. Lovely ball from Henderson. Salah on the diagonal run. Straight ball from Henderson. He's on the penalty spot. I'm thinking, put your foot through it. He tries to set Bobby Firmino, I think it was, and then Firmino gets tackled. Then it's Harvey Elliott's turn. Good save. Good simple save for Pope. I've just spotted Lascelles. I think he's limping. I don't think he's right. I think that if you were playing, you can see that you'd get onto Lascelles.
Liverpool looking to take advantage of Dan Burn this time. Salah with the Newcastle centre half over on the right hand side of the box, pulls it back to Firmino, 1-1! And that is classic Liverpool. We haven't seen much of it so far in this match, but there is the free-flowing combination, and they find their leveller through Firmino. Liverpool 1, Newcastle 1.
When they play at pace, Liverpool, when they play at pace, when they move the ball quickly, the red shirts are like red arrows, you don't know where to mark them. Salah down the right-hand side, pops it back in between two Newcastle players to Bobby Firmino, and he just slips it past Pope's right foot. No way, what a lovely finish.
His third goal of the season after bagging a brace against Bournemouth, and as Liverpool clear the ball out under pressure. And I think, Dion, I know what you mean about Salah maybe being able to take the shot 30 seconds earlier rather than trying to find a teammate, but it did occur to me, it was just a hint, wasn't it, of those connections.
Correct,
in that earlier chance that we're used to seeing, and there they found the connection that's been missing this evening, but we know they can find in a flash.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Vicky, if they move the ball, Liverpool don't play a slow game, it's not their way. If they move it quickly in the final third, from the middle third to the final third quickly, they will get chances. Defences don't know what to do. There's so many good players. That time the combination was spot on. Lovely finish from Firmino. Game on!
Game on, and Anfield knows it. As Diaz plays it forwards to Salah, racing down the right-hand side. He's been forced wide, and the tackle is made. It's a Liverpool throw. Full time at Manchester City. Maz Farouki.
City 6, Forest 0. I think the Forest players will be glad this one is over. Haaland with a 27-minute first half hat-trick, his second in as many games. He now has 9 for the season. João Cancelo added a wonderful fourth for City from the edge of the area in the second half. Julian Alvarez marking his first Premier League start with goals number 5 and 6. City 6, Forest 0.
Liverpool coming down the left-hand side. Robertson's ball in. Oh, it's flicked across by Diaz. Right across the 6-yard box, collected by Harvey Elliott. Now Alexander-Arnold plays the ball in, headed away by Newcastle. Robertson will pursue it out to this left-hand side. 1-1 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. 62 minutes played in this match as Liverpool slow the play down on halfway. Livingston have got a goal back against Dundee United in the Scottish League Cup. That's now Livingston 1, Dundee United 2. We'll be going to Ross County in a moment, but Liverpool flooding forward. Alexander-Arnold flicked on by Firmino. Diaz lays it off. Salah now to Henderson on the edge of the box. Joe Linton got a foot in, but it's all Liverpool at the moment as Fabinho plays it out to the right-hand side. Look at the space here for Harvey Elliott. Approaching the penalty area, plays it forward. Little ricochet. Alexander-Arnold sliding challenge, blocks it out for a Liverpool throw, and it's relentless. They're not letting up now. Jurgen Klopp's side having found this equaliser in the second half. 1-1. Newcastle have a player down. They're going to make a couple of substitutions as well. So to Ross County, Ronnie Forsyth.
Ross County's revival has been squashed by Celtic. Their goalkeeper Eastwood dropped the ball inside his box, and there was Dyson Maeda. He could not miss, and he didn't. So it's now Ross County 1, Celtic 3.
So we can pause for breath, Dion.
They've just turned the heat up a little bit, Liverpool, just with 1 and 2 touching that final third. The fans have sensed it. The fans are making an incredible noise in here. They've just started to sing or go through their repertoire of songs for the Reds. Newcastle are being pinned back at the moment. And they haven't been all game.
The changes that are being made, Jacob Murphy and Chris Wood are on. Ryan Fraser and Alexander Isak, who scored on his debut to give Newcastle the lead, a lead which has been wiped out by Roberto Firmino in this second half, as an appeal against Firmino for handball is spotted by Andre Mariner, and it will be a free kick to Newcastle and a chance for them to take a breather. Full time at Arsenal. Jonathan Overend.
5 wins out of 5 for Arsenal at the start of this season. They've beaten Aston Villa by 2 goals to 1, who've lost for the 4th time out of 5. Martinelli with the winning goal in the end, just seconds after Douglas Luiz had equalised direct from a corner. Gabriel Jesus scored the first half goal. Full time Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1.
Newcastle with this free kick just outside their own penalty area, as we see Ryan Fraser and Alexander Isak make their way to the bench. Word on Isak's debut, Dion?
Lively, very, very impressed. Worked incredibly hard, closing down the defenders. Looks good on the ball. Won't let a bad ball go astray. Tries to make it into a good one. So work rate's very good, quality's very good. Scored an amazing goal, let me tell you.
Yeah, cracking finish inside the penalty area. It scored another one as well that was ruled out for a very, very tight offside. Very similar finish. I think predator is going to be a word that we will use to describe him this season. 1-1 here on 5 Live, and Liverpool in the ascendancy, having found that equaliser. Diaz ball into the penalty area, cleared away by Newcastle. Robertson wins the header. Fabinho will play it back to Van Dijk, and forward to Fabinho once more, and all of a sudden Liverpool are zipping the passes. Gomez though lost it almost, slid in, won it back, plays the ball forward looking for Salah, and that's very calmly done at the back by Targett. Heads it back to Nick Pope under pressure from Salah. Full time at Bournemouth, Kelly Summers.
Finished it Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Life without Scott Parker starts with a point for Bournemouth, but they had just one shot on target against a Wolves side still waiting for their first league win of the season. Tavernier had the best chance for Bournemouth, his effort blocked 4 minutes into the second half, but Wolves had so many. Nunes hit the bar, Jimenez somehow spurned a one-on-one and a header wide for Podence, also forced the Bournemouth debutant keeper Neto into a fine save. Get the feeling Bournemouth will be far the happier of the two sides here. Finish Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0.
Bristol City are now 2-0 up against Huddersfield in the Championship, and here at Anfield, midway through the second half, it's 1-1 between Liverpool and Newcastle here on 5 Live, as Newcastle once again just slow the play down. Joe Linton to Sean Longstaff, ball forward looking for the run of Almiron, just can't keep it in, just falls over almost the advertising hoardings there as well. Almiron nearly tumbling into a photographer too, but the camera's fine, Almiron's fine, and we can play on.
Always willing to run for the 95 minutes that you play. Almiron works really hard.
Fabinho's ball forward, very aimless, straight at Nick Pope. Just going back to that ball for Almiron, I mean, he almost kept it in, but it's just so funny, isn't it, how the momentum of a game can shift, and passes that you've been making all evening just suddenly don't quite come off.
Yeah.
And the opposite with Liverpool, although we have to say that ball forward from Fabinho was a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, it was. But it's been like that for both sides, really. None of these sides have been, outstanding in the final third tonight.
1-1. We have had goals. We didn't curse you with a goalless draw, Dion. As Virgil van Dijk has the ball at the back for Liverpool. And Andy Robertson will send it back to him. Let's head to the London Stadium. Mike Williams.
Snatched half volley from Pablo Fornals just a moment ago. It was just 3 or 4 yards over Lloris's bar. That would have given West Ham the lead here against Tottenham. As it is 1-1. And it's all about the boys from Brazil here, Vicky. We've just seen West Ham's record signing £51 million Lucas Paqueta make his debut from the substitutes bench. And now Spurs have brought Richarlison on for Kulusevski as they look to potentially find a winner here. It's 1-1.
Thanks, Mike. Commentary continues on 5 Sports Extra. Ball goes out of play for a Liverpool throw. I'm going to steal this from social media. West Ham's midfield now, Dion. Paqueta Rice.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was
I've heard it all now. I'd actually missed you until that.
Throw to Liverpool over on the right hand side. 1-1 here at Anfield between Liverpool and Newcastle.
I think I've just seen Jordan Henderson wave to the bench as if to say something wrong.
We'll have to see. They can't do with another injury. Liverpool still 8 senior players missing for this match, 7 of them through injury, as Harvey Elliott plays the ball forwards down the right hand side of the penalty area. Still going Harvey Elliott. Newcastle trying to shepherd him out of the penalty area. Did that ball just run out of play? Yes, it did. It's a goal kick to Newcastle, but I mean, we praise Isak for Newcastle, and several Newcastle players would fall into that category. It's been a good performance, but Harvey Elliott, again, still just 19 years of age, has been outstanding.
Yeah, he has been great. Been really good tonight. He's still running around. He's still trying to make things happen. We're just having another look at that goal. Firmino's little pass into the corner. Lovely little finish. But yeah, there you go. Jordan Henderson has
you were
sat
right,
down.
Dion Henderson down outside the centre circle, and no points with the schedule that every club, but Liverpool, of course, amongst those being in European competition as well, has coming up this season, in taking any risks whatsoever. It's all about managing the schedule, as Henderson's just making sure that the armband is passed on, and Liverpool will be forced into a change here. Liverpool, who named an unchanged side. Now, Jurgen Klopp is saying to Jordan Henderson, well, we can't lip read from here, we're very high up here at Anfield, but
they're trying to take as much time as possible. So Jordan was near the manager, near the technical area. He was coming off, but he wanted to put the armband on Virgil van Dijk, just to give the staff time to pass on information to the subs. They're all looking at screens and iPads and stuff. Milner's coming on as well, so I think he'll be taking that role as the senior out there. So yeah, well done Jordan Henderson, taking a bit of time for your team.
yeah, so that is the first change that is made. Liverpool are going to make, looks like a triple substitution. So the first one, Milner is on for Henderson, that one enforced. The second one, Robertson will make way for Tsimikas. And Liverpool, of course, with 5 substitutions able to be made in the Premier League this season, are using 3 of those in one go. So Alexander-Arnold is off as well. Fabio Carvalho is on. So will we see a switch up here for Liverpool? But as much as anything else, trying to manage people's minutes, trying to make sure that with games coming thick and fast, you just don't pick up any of these niggling injuries, particularly with players as important as the 3 have just come off.
Yeah, and they're the ones as well, the niggling injuries that you think you've got rid of, but they're still there. Underlying problems, you go to run and then you make it worse. So yeah, I think the manager's actually looking and thinking, right, take a rest, lads. I've got 3 players here that are more than capable of doing the job for me for half an hour.
So 1-1 into the final 20 minutes plus added time here at Anfield, as Carvalho clears the ball away, but clears it straight into Joe Willock of Newcastle. Van Dijk will help it on. Salah is up there, tussling with Dan Burn. Burn wins the header, but concedes the free kick, and Liverpool have a set piece 35 yards out, right-hand side. 1-1 at Anfield, and that battle's been an intriguing one as well, hasn't it, Salah and Dan Burn?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been really, Dan Burn's done well, to be fair. Salah's not really had any clear-cut chances. Dan Burn's had to get close. Targets had to get close as well, so they've done their job so far, but it's Mo Salah we're talking about here.
So, free kick to Liverpool, who have had the better of it, very much so, since their equaliser, but Newcastle still looking dangerous when they can get in behind, as Milner sends the free kick to the edge of the penalty area, cleared away by Dan Burn, who gave the set piece away. Tsimikas plays the ball all the way back to Alisson, who is quickly closed down by Murphy. Alisson sends it long, Trippier's underneath it, his header goes back to Nick Pope, who will bring the ball down. It is all over in the cricket at the 100. Henry Moran.
Really thrilling conclusion. The Manchester Originals have booked their place in Friday's Eliminator against the London Spirit. 9 needed from the final 5 balls. A 6 pushed over the boundary from the batter Paul Walter, got them close, and they scrambled over the line. So the Originals through to join the Spirit.
Thanks, Henry. Here at Anfield on 5 Live, it is still 1-1 between Liverpool and Newcastle. Newcastle taking the lead shortly before half-time through their club record debutant Alexander Isak. Firmino equalising for Liverpool just after the hour mark in the second half, and Liverpool have been the better side since then, as Milner just about keeps that ball over on the far side. Harvey Elliott is there as an option, and Milner finds him, and now Fabinho has Carvalho in field, but will go out to Milner once more. Liverpool patient, Liverpool pressing, Liverpool probing this black and white striped shirted back line of Newcastle. Out to the left-hand side now go the red shirts and Tsimikas, but that's well read at the back by Newcastle and will be cleared up towards the halfway line, but no outlets at the moment for Newcastle. It was to the right of Chris Wood, who of course is a striker that can hold the ball up as well as score the goals for Burnley, at least. Double figures in his 4 Premier League seasons with them, but just 3 since arriving at Newcastle in January, as Liverpool pick up the ball outside the penalty area. Here is Fabinho now, 40 yards out, central position, out to the left-hand side, and Van Dijk, and now to the left, and Tsimikas just outside the penalty area. Pulls it back now to Carvalho. Now Fabinho once more. Liverpool still employing this patient build-up as Tsimikas will play the ball in. It will spin away back to him. Wasn't too sure where that ball would fall, Tsimikas, and Newcastle have picked up possession. Trippier will help it forward. Willock though miscontrol. Fabinho wins it back. Liverpool really pressing at the moment. Sliding challenge by Dan Burn means Harvey Elliott can't get there. It will be picked up by Longstaff. Trippier plays it forward as Newcastle very well play themselves out of trouble. Joe Linton now runs into trouble. Did he run into Fabinho there? Yes, he did. Joe Linton stayed down. Fabinho's given it away and then gives away the free kick as well. And Newcastle have a free kick just inside their own half. Late equaliser for Stoke at home to Swansea in the Championship. 1-1. Tyrese Campbell with that goal. And Dion Dublin, Newcastle have players down again.
Yes, they do. I don't know what happened that last 2 or 3 minutes. They gave the ball away, then they got it back, they gave the ball away. Joe Linton thought he had it and sorted out. Fabinho brings him down. It's a little bit bitty, not a lot of quality. They're trying to play the right way, both sides. Newcastle have gone in with 2 banks of 4, 2 ones just floating about in the midfield as well, making it really difficult for Liverpool. Liverpool just can't get the ball into that correct area to that red shirt. It's just not happening for them at the moment. Newcastle being resilient and organised, and when it's like this at 1-1, when it's on as even, anything can happen.
So free kick Newcastle inside their own half, but they're holding quite a high line here, about 35 yards out or so, but the players now advancing towards the penalty area, and they sent the players forward from the back as well. Lascelles was up there, it's all the way through to Alisson, but they're not settling for a point here, Newcastle. If from a free kick inside your own half, if you send your centre halves up, I mean, certainly your approach in these final 14 minutes plus added time here on 5 Live is clear, but Liverpool certainly are not settling for a point either. 1-1 as Carvalho wins it out to the left-hand side, and Tsimikas, who slips and gives the ball away. Almiron and Trippier between them should be able to get it away, but it's this time it's Liverpool that are closing down quickly outside the Newcastle penalty area, and although they don't win the ball, they force Newcastle to take the throw deep inside their own half to the London Stadium. Mike Williams.
86 minutes here. Some fans have seen enough and are starting to trickle out of the London Stadium, but this game doesn't usually end in a draw. This fixture haven't had one for 8 years here, with West Ham being the home side, so who knows what will happen. Vladimir Kufal on the far side with a free kick after Jarrod Bowen was clattered by Ben Davies. The West Ham fans still believe, but at the moment it is West Ham 1, Spurs 1.
Gomez sensible forward, looking for Diaz. Hits the back of his head inside the penalty area, but it will fall to Carvalho, who lays it off to Diaz just outside the box, 25 yards out. Might work room for the shot here. Instead lays it off to the right hand side, and Milner cuts it back to Harvey Elliott, just gets there ahead of Joe Linton. Urged to shoot, lays it off to Fabinho instead, but Newcastle marshalling Liverpool well. Gomez ball into the penalty area, headed away by Almiron, out to Tsimikas on this left hand side. 1-1 here on 5 Live. Carvalho slips as he plays the ball into the area, and Newcastle should be able to clear away with Murphy, but he doesn't get there ahead of Harvey Elliott, and Liverpool win the throw. Goal at Ross County. Roddy Forsyth.
Yes, that was a goal by James Forrest, which puts Celtic into the quarter-finals of the League Cup. Ross County won, Celtic 4, and we're in the final few seconds. In fact, we're in the final 5 seconds.
Thanks, Roddy. Guess what's happened? Newcastle have got players down again.
I don't understand this. I mean, when Liverpool kind of get their tails up, there's at least one Newcastle player that goes down. Lascelles, I did say that Lascelles has maybe got a bit of an injury. Maybe it's cramp, I'm not too sure. I think Longstaff was down again, or it was Joe Linton that was down. They're kind of taking it in turns. You go down, I'll go down. It's a little bit obvious.
It's delayed Liverpool, who now take the throw and try and work it down that right hand side of Firmino, who scored Liverpool's equaliser in this second half. Lovely interchange of passes. Elliott tries to squeeze it into the penalty area. Joe Linton, that's fantastic defensive work from the Brazilian, clears it away, but it will come straight back at Newcastle. Here's Tsimikas, has to be very careful, and is Oh, he looked as though he was going to lose it there, Tsimikas, but he holds on to it well and wins it back down by the byline, pulls the ball across. Oh, it was an attempted little flick back by Carvalho, who was in there. Newcastle clear away, but Liverpool come once more. 1-1. Diaz will go for goal and Pope punches it up in the air. I think the sting on the shot in the end took him by surprise. He went safety first, tips it over the bar with both fists.
Yeah, Diaz doing what he does. Shapes to go left, comes in on his right, doesn't go for a curler this time, goes for power straight down the throat of Pope. Both fists high over the bar.
Newcastle hanging on a bit here as Tsimikas takes this corner for Liverpool, and the header is towards goal, cleared away by Newcastle to the edge of their own penalty area. Salah wins it back, but the ricochet will fall kindly for Newcastle, and here is Jacob Murphy trying to spring the counter over the halfway line. Firmino getting back brilliantly to win that ball from Murphy and plays it all the way back to Alisson, who steers it away from Wood. Tsimikas has to stretch to keep it in and does so. Wood had made his run through the centre, wasn't going to come out to the right hand side and close down Tsimikas, who can now pick his pass to Fabinho and play it forward to Gomez.
Yeah, there's not many gaps in that midfield for Liverpool to play their football. Newcastle now are being a little bit more rigid in that midfield.
But again, Murphy's been dispossessed, this time by Milner on the counter, and Liverpool can try a counter of their own. Here is Harvey Elliott down to the right hand side, so many black and white striped shirts there, and they will dispossess Harvey Elliott, but they've given the ball away. Pulled across, Diaz, bobbling shot, and it bounces kindly up for Pope, who just pats it with his hands and catches the ball. Goodness me, that could so easily have been a goal for Liverpool. There has been some action at Ross County. Roddy Forsyth.
Yes, well, it's all over here. Celtic are in the quarter-finals. Ross County won, Celtic 4. McGregor and Giacomakis for Celtic before the break. Maeda and Forrest afterwards, with Alex Iacobiti raising County's hopes briefly, but they were crushed. Ross County 1, Celtic 4.
Go to Liverpool. Other full times in the Scottish League Cup. Hearts 0, Kilmarnock 1, Livingston 1, Dundee United 2, Motherwell 4, Inverness 0. And as we've heard, Celtic have won 4-1 at Ross County. Those all full times. Liverpool in possession, 1-1 here at Anfield. Out to the right hand side, Diaz slips in the centre, the ball is into the penalty area anyway without waiting for him to get up, comes all the way through to Tsimikas, left hand side of the box, pulls the ball back across, it's a dangerous one, a ricochet again will fall to the hands of Nick Pope, but Tsimikas did this against Bournemouth. He came off the bench, he got 2 assists. Yes, Liverpool were purring that day, but he really does offer that attack.
Yeah, he does,
doesn't he?
He does, and he likes to get in that final third. He more often than not gets across him with his left or with his right. The one before down the right hand side, Targett had a chance to clear it, he didn't clear it. Liverpool get a half chance. Kieran Trippier blocks the shot of Diaz and he goes straight down Targett's throat. Get the ball cleared. You can see there's a little bit of nerves now in that back four. They don't want to make any mistakes. They've worked too hard to go away from here with nothing.
8.5 minutes to play, 1-1. Ball goes out for a Liverpool throw. Full time at Sunderland. Chris Coles.
They've beaten Rotherham 3-0. Just the start, Tony Mowbray would have hoped for. His side were excellent in the second half after a goalless first. 2 tap-ins for Ross Stewart, assisted by Jack Clark. Roles reversed for the third, with Stewart providing for Clark, all in the space of 18 blistering minutes. The Mowbray era begins with a win. Rotherham beaten for the first time this season. Sunderland 3, Rotherham 0.
Carvalho goes down, free kick Liverpool, level with the edge of the penalty area, 30 yards or so out. Full times elsewhere in the Championship, Bristol City 2, Huddersfield 0, Coventry have lost 1-0 at home to Preston. It's finished 1-1 between Stoke and Swansea, and the latest score, this is an 8 o'clock kickoff, Blackpool 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Liverpool are pressing, Dion Dublin.
Yeah, they are, and they've got another free kick here on the left hand side, halfway inside Newcastle's half. Tsimikas is over it, James Milner's over it. I think there's something brewing here for Milner to hold the ball for so long. It might be something off the training ground, this one.
Elliot Anderson is preparing to come on for Newcastle, but they have to defend this set piece first as Milner puts it down. Tsimikas swings it in, it's fallen to Fabinho, who fires over from 12 yards. He had the black and white striped shirts in front of him. To be fair, they dived in, they put him off, but it's over the bar. It was a decent opportunity.
It was funny actually. Fabinho took that strike about 16 yards. Oh, the fans are not happy. Liverpool fans aren't happy because...
No, Newcastle it's not a beach ball, but they're pretending it is. But we have multi-balls, so Nick Pope can take one of those balls off the nearest orange cone and prepare to take this goal kick. 1-1 Newcastle fans, very obligingly now, have thrown the ball back on the pitch. A ball assistant will trot on and roll it away. And Nick Pope, having made sure that all is present and correct, will prepare to take this goalkeeper. Newcastle are making that change as well. Almiron is off and Elliot Anderson is on for Newcastle United. Only his 5th appearance for his boyhood club. He's been with them since he was 8 years old. His granddad, Jeff Allen, former Newcastle winger who won the Intercities Fairs Cup back in 1969. Newcastle's last trophy. And Elliot Anderson, just 19, hoping to make his mark at his boyhood club, and Newcastle hoping to continue to make a mark on this match. They've won a free kick, good position this, left hand side, best part of 30 yards out, and it's a needless foul to give away there from a player as experienced as Milner.
Yes, but Anderson's just come on and Milner's trying to get back in position, but he goes across Milner and Milner has to bring him down. He's reaching in to try and get the ball, takes down Anderson. This is a good area to get this ball in. I think Target's over it and all the big centre halves have gone up.
Yeah, they're lurking on the edge of the penalty area, the black and white shirts dotted in and amongst the red ones. Approaching the final 5 minutes plus added time at Anfield, 1-1. Newcastle with this set piece, swung in left-footed, fist across that 6-yard box. Nobody in a black and white shirt can get their head on it, and in the end Dan Burn, who chased that ball out to the right hand side, is penalised for offside, and Alisson will be able to take this free kick for Liverpool. Still all square here on 5 Live. Here is Diaz, checks back, Burn is still up there, needs to get back in position and is doing so now, Burn, because Liverpool are coming forward. Gomez out to the right hand side, Milner is there, first time ball into the penalty area, so many red shirts are there. Tsimikas was one of them, his header didn't quite get the purchase, miscue clearance, Fabinho's drive over the bar from 20 yards.
Difficult strike, that really difficult strike for Fabinho, coming out over his left foot. He's got to strike, his timing's got to be correct, just didn't get it right, sliced it, went over the bar, but I'm expecting him to hit the target there. Fabinho is so good.
Full time at the London Stadium, Mike Williams.
Here in East London, West Ham 1, Spurs 1, a draw probably a fair result on the balance of things. Spurs took the lead following a lightning break from Kulusevski, who gave it to Kane on the byline. He crossed it across the face of goal, aiming for Son, who threw his body at the ball. Eventually it was adjudged to have gone off. West Ham's German defender Thilo Kehrer for an own goal. Spurs led at the break but were eventually pegged back by Thomas Souček. Clinical close range finish after he was set up by Antonio. The home crowd enjoyed record signings Lucas Paqueta's cameo in the second half, and they could have won it at the death. West Ham, Jared Bowen just toe poking across the face of goal, no one could get on the end of it. Entertaining stuff here. West Ham 1, Spurs 1.
Oh, very risky goalkeeping there from Nick Pope, came sliding out of his penalty area to head it away from Mohamed Salah on the left wing.
It was knee height though.
Goodness
he headed
me.
it at knee height, and there was a bit of a groan there because it might have hit his hand.
Well, we're playing on. I mean, he's done that once before, Nick Pope, but in this match. But you see, normally you see keepers come flying out and they at least head it at head height, not knee height. I mean, it was genius in the end, but goodness me. Don't see that again in a hurry as Liverpool come forward 1-1. Harvey Elliott goes down, free kick third of the way inside the Newcastle half, and Newcastle have kicked the ball away there, and that will be a yellow card into the bargain, and Andre Mariner is pointing that out, that he did see that ball was kicked away there, and now Willock's gone down and they're just eking out time here.
I think it was
so Jamal Lascelles is the one into the book. Elsewhere in the Premier League this evening, just heard full time at the London Stadium. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1, goalless between Bournemouth and Wolves, and Manchester City 6-0 winners at home to Nottingham Forest. Here at Anfield, into the final 2.5 minutes plus added time, 1-1 between Liverpool and Newcastle as Tsimikas swings the free kick into the area, headed back across. Newcastle just about clear it away. Willock will help it on out to the right hand side, and Jacob Murphy, Trippier was screaming for him to play it back, and Murphy does so. Longstaff then straight out of play, and Anfield like that, Liverpool grow.
They do, because Liverpool's tails are up. They're sort of over 70% possession at the moment. Liverpool, they're taking charge of this game, and Newcastle are just hanging on, defending for their lives, hanging on to this point they've got at the moment.
Well, it might extend their winless run in the Premier League at Anfield to 27 games, Newcastle, but it would be a well-deserved point, and as Dion says, it looks as though that is the game plan now, but Liverpool, the game plan for them No doubt about it. It's to push for the 3 points. They've won a corner on the far side. 1-1.
Yes, they have, and I don't know why they haven't taken it short. They've got 3 players out there. They could have taken it short and got the ball in the box. All the defenders are up, ready to go.
Well, they are going to swing it in. And Harvey Elliott's taken up a position just on the edge of the D. It does go into that crowded 6-yard box, and it's straight into the arms of Nick Pope. You just wonder whether they could try something a little different there, Liverpool, because Elliott was in so much space, and Newcastle have got the height of Byrne, who's 6'7", the Sells as well.
And Pope, the keeper, yes.
Yeah,
listen,
Pope, so good at taking those sort of deliveries.
Correct.
As Alisson is at the other end.
Yeah, it's just trying something different. The ball underneath the crossbar is very, very dangerous, but if you've worked on it and you know how to deal with it, then shouldn't be a problem for Pope to come and catch.
Long ball down the centre, looking for Chris Wood, headed away by Gomez. Tsimikas wins the second header. He's played well since coming on. Tsimikas with Liverpool in the ascendancy, and Luis Diaz, Trippier's come across there. That's going to be a yellow card for Trippier, and a free kick for Newcastle, and a free kick for Liverpool, and I think Newcastle will take that all day long, because we're into the final minute of normal time, and Diaz, if Trippier doesn't bring him down there, he's away down that left-hand side.
Diaz was definitely going in down the left-hand side. Trippier had committed to that challenge. It's if it's not the ball, it's the player who'll take the yellow card.
They've dinked the ball into the penalty area, Liverpool. Oh, snapshot by Fabio Carvalho, and it hits the side netting. That was a really intelligent free kick. Newcastle weren't completely switched onto it. Lovely run by Fabio Carvalho as we enter 5 minutes of added time, and Carvalho, who scored his first Liverpool goal against Bournemouth last match after arriving this summer from Fulham, tried something pretty clever there, and he stayed onside too.
Yeah, he was onside. He just found himself just behind Joe Willock, I think it was. Lively. Carvalho, Millie as well, just trying to put it in behind them.
Well, we said, didn't we, moments before, maybe they could try something different from the corner. They did from the free kick. Wasn't too far away from paying off. We have played 40 seconds of the minimum, 5 added on. 1-1 between Liverpool and Newcastle here on 5 Live as Gomez sends it forward, just too much on it for Salah, and Pope will just control with his knee, control with his feet, and pick up with his gloves and try and eke this time away. But Newcastle knew that these games in the opening 5 matches of the Premier League season against Manchester City, against Liverpool, to come through those and still be unbeaten under Eddie Howe this season, I mean, it's a very, very good start.
Yeah, it's good going, actually. It's really good going. Newcastle are going the right way. They're being managed incredibly well. They're trying to manage this game now, Newcastle players, by, players going down and Pope rolling on the floor when he can catch the ball, nudging the ball away. A lot of gamesmanship at the moment, but at Anfield with 4 minutes to go, it's still a dangerous place.
Yep, 90 seconds of added time have been played. Liverpool have been relentless in the last 10 minutes or so. They've been the better side since getting the equaliser just after the hour mark through Firmino after Isak. Newcastle's record signing had put them ahead just before half-time. And in truth, Newcastle have been the better side for the majority of this game, or certainly shaded it until that equaliser, but from then on it's all been Liverpool. And they've won a free kick over on the far side. Milner takes it as Joe Linton definitely didn't move away there, but Milner just wants to get on with it and plays it centrally. Here is Gomez out to Tsimikas on this left-hand side. 2 minutes of the minimum 5 have been played. Gomez, lovely ball out to the right-hand side, well read before it can reach Harvey Elliott, but it will be a Liverpool throw. Joe Linton's gone down. Andre Mariner's going to let play go on here. Joe Linton's not seriously hurt as Firmino drives from the edge of the box. Joe Linton's going to have to get up as Liverpool send the ball into the area once more, and Nick Pope claims under pressure from Virgil van Dijk. That is a very good take, and he gets slapped on the stomach by his Newcastle teammates, and Van Dijk is trying to help Pope up. I mean, that one, that might have winded him a little bit, but interesting that Andre Mariner there, Joe Linton's gone down with cramp, Liverpool already have the ball in play, and Andre Mariner says, well, you're not seriously hurt, you're just going to have to get up.
Absolutely, Vicky, and why would you? I mean, it's happened too many times tonight. Too many times Newcastle players have gone down. I mean, Joe Linton's okay, and he's up on his feet, he's walking, he's been jogging as well, so if he's just trying to slow the game down, I think Andre Mariner done the right thing.
And what you're seeing now is one of his teammates is stretching off his cramp without going down, because he's thinking, hang on, we're going to play on.
It's too important. I think that at times like this, you've got to just get on with your job, go through the pain barrier if you have got cramp or not. Make sure you hold on to the point you've got, the point you've earned, Don't go through too many pages of the gamesmanship book. Get the job done with good, honest graft.
Well, Nick Pope is still down. The physio is on, making sure that he's all right. Haven't seen a replay, but looks from here like it potentially would have been a little bit of an awkward fall after claiming that ball very well ahead of Virgil van Dijk. So Andre Mariner just making sure that Nick Pope is all right. And we are ticking towards full time. 1-1 between Liverpool and Newcastle. 1 minute of added time to play, although there might be a little bit more because of Pope being treated there for a minor injury, but he's back up to his feet, the Newcastle goalkeeper, and launches the ball downfield. It's flicked on. Liverpool stab it back to Alisson. Bit of pace on that. Alisson then clears away. He was being well closed down there. Out to the left-hand side, Luis Diaz is eased off it by Trippier, who plays it forward. Diaz chest down on the halfway line though. Is there to be time for one last Liverpool attack? Fabinho, Harvey Elliott's dispossessed, but Fabinho will pick it up once more. Out to the right-hand side, and Milner. Lovely crossfield pass, that's gorgeous to Luis Diaz, but Diaz just took his eye off it. Joe Willock came in, got something on it. Diaz picks it up once more. Carvalho, Fabinho, back to Van Dijk, out to the left-hand side, and Tsimikas swings the ball in right-footed. They're queuing up at the far post, cleared away by Newcastle. Gomez on the volley, over the bar from the edge of the D.
He was always going to go for it, Joe Gomez. It came down with snow on it. He had about 2 seconds to think, do I or don't I? The fans are thinking, don't do it. He goes with a right-footed volley, high and wide.
So, Nick Pope taking his time over this. We played the minimum 5 minutes. There might, as we say, be a little bit more because of Pope receiving a bit of treatment, but it looks as though Liverpool are not going to find a way to come from behind to win. They found the equaliser in this second half. 1-1. And we're into added on time now. How much will Andre Mariner give as Diaz wins it on the halfway line? Back to Fabinho inside the centre circle, and now Van Dijk. Chris Wood just trying to put him off. Van Dijk squares it to Gomez. Anfield roars, get forward. So does Jurgen Klopp. Send the ball forward. Liverpool almost lose possession with Diaz. They can't afford a Newcastle counter. And that's exactly what might happen, because here goes Willock. They've lost it on the halfway line. Joelinton, right-hand side, will just about keep it in. Is there a chance for Newcastle to win it at the death here? Joelinton's ball across. Oh, there's space inside the penalty area. Newcastle's still going. They can't get the shot away. It's a miscontrol in the end, and Liverpool will bring the ball away. And still we play on. Very good challenge by Murphy. Tsimikas will send it back to Alisson inside his own penalty area. What a chance that could have been for Elliot Anderson, but he just couldn't pull the trigger, the 19-year-old, inside the Liverpool penalty area. Still we play on. 1-1 here on 5 Live. Ball forward, picked up by Firmino to Salah, just inside the penalty area. Ball behind for a corner, and Andre Mariner signals there's time to take it.
End-to-end stuff. It's been absolutely brilliant the last couple of minutes. Outswinging corner from James Milner, though, for Liverpool.
What about that potential opening for Elliot Anderson at the other end as well?
Has to hit it,
so
Vicky.
much space when it came to him, but he just couldn't work the shot or take the shot straight away. What a moment that would have been for his boyhood club. Liverpool corner, swung in from the right-hand side. Gomez wins the header. It's flicked on. Scramble on the goal line. Liverpool still trying to smash it in, and they have done so. Liverpool win it right at the death. Fabio Carvalho slides away on his knees to celebrate, and Liverpool have done it again at Anfield against Newcastle United. They've come from behind and they lead by 2 goals to 1.
That is unbelievable. I cannot believe that. Oh my word, Liverpool, the fans have scored that goal. Let me tell you, the fans were telling the players, get the ball forward, we haven't got enough time. It's 100% the last kick of the game as well. Andre Mariner said, you can take the corner. They kept it in there, Liverpool, and he's just come on. Fabio Carvalho gets the winner for Liverpool. The black and white shirts of the fans are silent. Newcastle fans have got nothing to say. Outswinger, they keep it alive. He drops to Fabio in the box, 4 yards out, smash in off the bar. Wow, what a noise we've got now. Wow.
It's a brilliant finish from Carvalho. much at a time. But then, if you waste time, sometimes that comes back to bite you.
There was always going to be another chance. There was always going to be another chance.
So Newcastle kick off, and still we play on. No, that's it. No time for any more than 2 passes. And Anfield is raucous once again. Liverpool have their second Premier League win of the season. And Newcastle's Anfield hoodoo continues. The latest of late winners from Fabio Carvalho. Liverpool have found a way. 2-1. They beat Newcastle United.
They always do at home, don't they? They always seem to find a way. They never, ever give up all the way to the 95th, 96th. It doesn't matter what minute it is. These fans were making so much noise. Get the ball forward, get the ball forward, get it in the box. A little bit of luck, and look what they get. All 3 points.
Big result for Liverpool, and you have to say, until Liverpool found that equaliser, it was such a frustrating evening for the home side. You could sense it around Anfield, but when they got the leveller, they pushed on, but Newcastle will be agonised that they just didn't quite do enough.
They managed it well, Newcastle, to a certain degree. They were in the game to a certain degree. The black and white shirts, the fans they're looking at their players now. They're clapping their players. They did well, but at the end it was just too much for them. They just couldn't hang on for the rest of the game. Liverpool kept coming, and something had to give, and it did. Fabio Carvalho off the bench, puts it in the back of the net, in off the bar from 4 yards. So pleased for the young man. So pleased for the young man.
Jubilant scenes here at Anfield, Jules. It finishes Liverpool 2, Newcastle United 1.
And we're going to talk more about